And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we got to talk about the plane meltdown lady. What's her name? Tiffany Gomas. The internet wanted to know who she was, what's going on with her, and the internet has some answers. We'll get into that particular thing a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Fani Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney, who is being accused of having an illicit affair with a gang member. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, UPS drivers making big bags of money. I'm talking about huge bags of money. And some of the tech bros don't like what's going on too much. They don't like it too much at all. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later as well. Also, we got to talk about the Trump supporter out there in Utah who got deleted by the federales because he was issuing some threats online against President Biden and others. Although there have been many others who issued threats against President Donald Trump and others, and nothing happened to them. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, speaking about government officials, David Weiss, the U.S. attorney from Delaware, is appointed as special counsel in the Hunter Biden probe. Nothing wrong there. Delaware, Joe Biden was a senator. Hunter Biden is from there. We'll talk about all those things more. It's a nice episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. This is also a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. All right. And before we get into all of tonight's topics and a few more exclusive videos and breaking news I've not covered yet on the channel this week, you guys, please visit the sponsors. Of course, y'all know what it is. PatriotPost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Check them out through the link in the description box, or just go to them directly. PatriotPost.us. Tell them ABL sent you. Also, go to my regular websites, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Check it on out immediately. Also, go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Check it on out right there. Go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in the article, you can find sources for whatever I say. Handful videos, uncut, whatever I want to put on the website, I can. On the YouTube, I'm a little bit restricted. Of course, y'all know how it is on YouTube. You can't say anything, you can't do anything. You got to be PG at best if you're a political commentator. But if you are some kind of yoga instructor or somebody from the LGBT, you could put XXX content on YouTube. But different story. I'm getting triggered, so I digress. The whole point is I could put whatever I want on my website without having to deal with the weird politics on the YouTubes and the rest of social media. So again, AnthonyBLogan.com. Also, go to AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff is right there on AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. And if you're ever wondering if you are speaking with me online, first of all, use your common sense a little bit. If somebody says, hey, you know what, I can make you $500 million gazillion dollars, all you gotta do is pay me $25,000. Let's just not do that, okay? That's just a scam right on its face. But beyond that, you can always double check the method of communication by going to the contact page to see if the email or social media handle or whatever it is to see if it's listed right there on the contact page. And the best way to contact me is through my email, contact@anthonyblogan.com. You go to my website, go to the contact page. You could literally copy and paste the email from there, and you could communicate that way. If you're not talking to me that way, it's not me, so don't get scammed. Ain't nobody got no time for that in the year 2023. So thank y'all again for being here. Love y'all as well. I see a few comments say, love you, ABL. Love y'all right back. All right, we got quite a few things to get into. And where am I going to start? I have no idea, but we got to get into a few things. I think I want to start with a few exclusive videos. I think that's kind of what I want to do. Some things that I have not shown yet. There's also some stories that I have not covered yet that I want to get into. A few really interesting things. A few very interesting things that I wanted to cover. A few funny stories. A few things that I think you guys are going to like. A few memes and some more stuff. All right. And you know what? I got a video from your guy, Vivek Ramaswamy. Not the whole Juneteenth thing. I'm beyond that. But I have more video from him on the campaign trail. A lot of you guys may like Vivek, and that's fine. I'm going to give you an update from the campaign trail. And I also have some other things we got going on. We got some news from Lizzo. Yes, we do have news from Lizzo. We got quite a few things. We have an interesting deterrent out there in Chicago against some of the crime, some of the looting or whatnot. And we also have some video that kind of, it kind of shows the damage of the LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z. It shows some damage from that whole thing. All right. Somebody asked me about, did I upload the Wednesday podcast on the audio? I don't think I did because I wasn't able to record it on my streaming device, on my mixer. For some reason, I wasn't able to record it, but I'm gonna try to get to upload it if I can. But I gotta go through a different process to be able to get it up there. But thank you for your comment. I do see your comment, boss. So I got you on that. And we have a controversial statement from Alex Jones. Alex Jones was talking about Blair White in a very interesting way. So we're going to get into all those things and just a few. So y'all please hang tight. And again, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now let's start from right here. I'm not really a big soccer fan. So maybe you guys, if you watch soccer or what they call over there, they call that football, right? Maybe if you guys are more into it, you would kind of understand the severity of this particular violation. But here's something right here. So check it out. Now, if this, like, I'm this person that would do something like this. So here is the caption. Person caught watching Lord of the Rings as entire plane views Australia's victory in the Women's World Cup. Now, I don't know. I guess this is on an Australian flight. I have no idea. I'm not quite sure if soccer is really big over there in that particular part of the world. But I'm this guy. It's like, look, y'all over there watching the Women's World Cup. Who really cares? I'm not really. It's not that deep. Okay, I'm going to watch Lord of the Rings or part 15 of John Wick or something else. I'm that guy. But this might be a big violation if soccer is like the king in your particular part of the world, or if you grew up as a big soccer fan, this might be a big violation. But personally, I don't think it's a big deal, but apparently it is to make the news. This is on New York Post. It's like a real story of somebody getting caught on the plane watching Lord of the Rings. And speaking about planes, could be New Zealand, probably so. Speaking of planes, we're going to get to the plane freak out lady a little bit later. I'm with you, Robert Lawrence. It's not really a big deal. I watched that over the World Cup final as well. Absolutely. There you go. Hassan says Lord of the Rings is a classic and sports are rigged. Well, there you have it. There you have it. All right. Hold on. Siren Muscle says John Wick is now on 20. Exactly. Part 20. And you know what? Check it out. I'm going to watch all 20 parts, and I can't wait till part 21 comes out. Okay. And when Keanu Reeves is 95 years old and he becomes a concierge, I'll still be watching it. But I digress. Here's something very interesting. Shout out to Grand Old Memes on the Twitter. Y'all please follow this account, Grand Old Memes. I'm a big fan of what they put out. Been following them for quite a while. Here's an interesting meme for y'all. All right, check it out. Now, this is the meme of the man that plays Professor X. I forget his name. Y'all know who he is. But usually it's the meme is he's picking an apple from a tree. And then it's like, okay, your meme is the apple. And then me. And then my collection of memes is the basket of apples, right? But right here, this is an article from August 10th, 2023, just 2 days ago, that says doctors can prescribe ivermectin for COVID-19, says FDA lawyer. Again, this is Epic Health, August 10th, 2023. So the meme is him picking this article headline from the tree as an apple, labeling himself as conspiracy theorists, and then the basket of apples is I effing told you so, because there are quite a few things that us so-called conspiracy theorists can say, we told you so. We told y'all about the vax, how it was going to be a dangerous thing. You might get injured. We told y'all, thank you for that, Patrick Stewart. Thank you for that. But we told y'all that the vax could be dangerous. We told y'all that ivermectin does work and hydroxychloroquine. We told y'all all these things, and people say, oh, nah, that's a conspiracy theory. You making it up. I trust this brand new vaccine that came out of nowhere, all this, that, and the third. We told y'all that masks don't work. We told y'all all this stuff. Now, a lot of you guys who are watching and listening right now, you knew what it was from the very beginning. You guys were on the same page with me, but not everyone was. Your auntie at the family reunion was getting triggered at you, and she's trying to argue with you over the cranberry sauce and turkey legs and everything else. Macaroni and cheese is dry with Velveeta. It's like, look, auntie, worry about your mac and cheese recipe not really being up to snuff and tasting like garbage, rather than trying to argue me down about things that I know to be 100% factual, that you're going to realize are 100% factual in a very, very short period of time, right? So yeah, shout out to Patrick Stewart, shout out to Grand Old Memes, and shout out to all you so-called conspiracy theorists, you fellow conspiracy theorists out there. At a certain point, I mean, the term conspiracy theorist might be like a badge of honor. If I'm labeled as that, that means that I think for myself and I'm not a sheep. I'm not just going to be led by whatever the government says, because we know that the government lies and they tells us whatever they think that we need to hear or we want to hear, right? That's how they do. Remember your man Anthony Fauci talking about the masks. First he said the mask ain't going to help you. It might block a droplet or two, but it ain't really going to help. Then he said everybody should go out there and get a mask. It's going to help you. If you don't wear a mask, you want to kill your grandma. And then when somebody called him out on it saying, hey, you said one thing at first, and then a month later said you flip-flopped on the whole thing about the masks. What did he say? Oh, well, I did not want there to be a rush on the masks, so I said that in the beginning, then I changed my stance. Huh? Look, tell me the truth, not just what you think I'm going to hear, not just what you think is, like what I should hear. Just give me the truth all the time. But I'm getting triggered, so I will move right along. Now, here's your man. Here's your man, Vivek, rapping to some Eminem. So, y'all ready? Now, the question that Ian Miles Chung posted in the caption, well, his caption reads as follows: Vivek Ramaswamy raps, based or cringe? So, you like it? Are you feeling the Eminem karaoke, or is it a little bit cringe? Let's check it out, shall we?
Loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's joking how everybody's joking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow, snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity, oh, there goes gravity. He's so mad, but he won't give up, daddy. He won't back to these notes, he's so mad at these notes. Oh, wow.
All right, Vivek. Okay, I'll give you an A for effort, but you a tad bit off beat. a tad bit off beat. You sound like Blueface or Sugar Free. You're not quite on the beat, but it's okay, man. You get an A for effort. All right. You're giving me the Paul Ryan dumbbell with the backwards red cap vibes, but it's okay. One more time. Let's run it back one more time. All right. Let's run it back one more time, and then we keep on moving. Hey, you know what? Look, if you're cringing, imagine how I feel having to watch all this stuff all week. So let's cringe one more time. Then we keep on rocking and rolling.
Oh crap, loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's joking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, plow, snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity, oh, there goes gravity. He's so mad, but he won't give up, daddy. He goes back to these notes, he's so mad as he's oh.
All right, so yeah, shout out to my main man, Vivek. Hold on, I gotta show you guys the Paul Ryan picture I'm referencing, so you can kind of get a little comparison. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely Paul Ryan 2012, I believe, vibes. Yeah, absolutely. And where's Paul Ryan been at? I've not seen him in the limelight in quite a while. I've not seen him since he was doing those anti-Trump videos back in 2015, 2016. But yeah, I mean, if that ain't the same person, if that's not what you just saw, I can't tell. That right there is the exact same thing. Hello, fellow humans. I'm Paul Ryan, and I'm trying to appeal to the youth. Vote for me. It's like, man, just focus on policy and things of that nature. Trying to rap and throwing your cap backwards, man. I'm not really impressed. Okay, and how much weight is that? Okay, you got some 40s, and why is it like 40 kind of scrawled on there? Is that how weights are? I don't know, but anyway. I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I don't know where he's at from Left to Right USA. That's a great question. Where is Paul? I have no idea. I mean, as soon as the whole anti-Trump thing was over with, I pretty much have not seen him anymore. So somebody says, who's Paul Ryan? What was Paul Ryan, a House rep or a senator? I think he's from what? Minneapolis or somewhere. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. Wisconsin. So he was a House Speaker from Wisconsin from 2015 to 2019. Now, he was something before that as well. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. So before he was in the House from Wisconsin's 1st District, and he was in office from 99 to 2019. And he was Speaker of the House from 2015. Was he Speaker of the House, really? Yeah. Speaker of the House from 2015 to 2019. Yep. And before him was John Boehner and then Nancy Pelosi. Yep. Now, did you know that? He didn't really do a lot as Speaker of the House, obviously, but I digress. Now, okay, here's a video right here. Speaking about equality. Now, some people say that men and women are the same. There's no difference. I saw something where Clarissa Shields, a female boxer, wants to have an intergender match against a man. Now, Clarissa Shields is an actual biological XX woman, a real woman, okay? Born girl, woman, not transgender, nothing like that. A real, actual woman. And she wants to have an intergender match against a real, actual, biological man. It's like, ma'am, okay, you're a great female boxer, an amazing female boxer, one of the greatest. But a man is going to completely break all this right here, all your jaw, your nose, your collarbone. That's all going to be torn to pieces. Please don't do this to yourself. Just be great as a female boxer. And quite frankly, I wouldn't even want to be the man that has to get in the ring with the female boxer because you don't get any kind of reward for that. It's a lose-lose situation. If you win, you beat up a girl. If you lose by a chance, you got beat by a girl. So how do you win? Anyway, let's check it out. So the caption says, girl versus man with the laughing emoji. And then it also says equal rights, question mark. Let's check it out. So that was all of 5 seconds. Did you miss that? So my man slammed the girl and then put her in a submission and she tapped instantly. Like 5 seconds or less. That happened. If you missed it, if you blinked a little bit as a human being does, you might have missed it. Let's check it out one more time. Nah, they say it's going to be abuse, Raw B Mill. They say it's going to be abuse, but nah, if you sign up for it, then hey, it is what it is. But again, I would not want to be the guy on the opposite end of this. One more time for the road, because if you guys are blinking or you got a little, something to drink and you taking a little sip, you're going to miss it. So, I mean, what person in their right mind would sign up for this? Why would anybody do something like this? If that's your daughter and your daughter says, hey, daddy, I want to go compete against a man in martial arts or box, any kind of activity where there's going to be some kind of physical contact, I'll be like, let's not maybe compete in the video game, maybe compete in the card game, maybe compete in something that is not physical contact. Okay, maybe even basketball. Okay, have a shooting contest. But if the sport requires I gotta put my hands on you and I gotta punch you in the face or something like that, man, it's going to be all bad for the women. It's going to be all bad. So I suggest that you don't do it. All right, I suggest you don't do it. And we got quite a few more videos here and more stories before we get to the main things. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Oh, I got a story about Lizzo. Okay, this is going to be very interesting because, these kind of things, this is what happens, hey, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. So let's check it out right here. Watch this. Now, you see this right here? So Lizzo has been dropped from Super Bowl halftime show consideration in the wake of dancers' shocking sexual harassment and abuse claims as her team frantically scrambles to save her sinking ship. Now, of course, that's Lizzo right there. I know you guys wanted a picture reference. I know you guys wanted to see all of what we got going on right there. All right. I know y'all wanted to see that. All right. I know y'all wanted to see that, but that is Lizzo. And she got dropped from the halftime show. Now, the jokes were funny. They said, man, she got dropped. How far did she fall? It's causing an earthquake, all this, that, and the third. Trees going to collapse, everything. But hear me out. I'm not saying it's right that she is being canceled for allegations because they're just allegations. She might be innocent. It's possible. But see, people like Lizzo would be the main ones that would champion stuff like this. Lizzo is a person that always claims to be the victim, that always claims to have people against her, that always says that others are attacking her even when they're not, even when it's just commentary. Look, Lizzo's whole thing is about being body positive and all this and that and the third, right? And if you say anything about her being fat, then somehow you're a bad person. Meanwhile, her whole shtick is about being big. The name of her company where she has the dancers that she recruits, Big Girl, Big Touring. Her Instagram name is Lizzo Be Eating, as in Lizzo eats a lot, because that's why she's big, because she eats a lot of food. That's her own Instagram name. Her whole brand is about being fat. But if you say that she's fat, now she's offended, she's a victim. So that same energy she put out there is coming back on her. Again, I'm not saying it's right that somebody gets canceled for allegations. However, when you put the energy out there, it's going to come back on you. It's going to come back on you. So that's why I don't do that. Anytime there's allegations, I'll let you know, hey, these are allegations. It could be false. It might not be true. I'm not going to sit here and say it is because I don't know if it is or not. It might be, but and sometimes you have things that are allegations or you have charges that we know to somewhat be true. In the case of R. Kelly, we know that he was married to Aaliyah when she was 15, and he lied about her being 18 on court documents, and then they had to get a note by her parents back in the early 90s. Oh, yeah, I know that he was with her on BET and matching outfits when he was 27 and she was 14 or 15 underage. I do know that. So you got some facts to back up what you say. Hunter Biden, this guy smoked crack on video camera. Hunter Biden is the only crackhead I know who likes to get high on camera, right? So when I say he's a crackhead, I have evidence to back it up. Now, as far as Lizzo, I don't have a lot of evidence. All that I do have is a podcast appearance in which she was talking about the whole banana kerfuffle, okay? But she didn't necessarily say that she made anybody do it or anything like that. But I do know she has an interest in that type of world, okay? But different story, I digress. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think that this is the correct treatment, incorrect treatment? What do we have going on? So here's some of the article subheads here. So she's 35 years old. Had no idea she was that old. 35, is being sued by 3 dancers for sexual harassment and weight shaming. How do you get sued for weight shaming? That's not a thing to sue somebody over. But guess what, though? It's not a thing to sue somebody over. How are you going to, if I call somebody fat and they are fat, where is the lawsuit? Even if they weren't fat, where's the lawsuit? We talking about name calling? How's that a lawsuit? But see, check it out. Lizzo is the one who always says that that's a wrong thing to do. You shouldn't be doing it. Weight shaming. She's body positive. So if you put that energy out there, it can be used against you. You're weight shaming me because I gained some weight and I can't do some of the routine, perhaps. You weight shaming me. The same thing that she put out there is coming right back on her. So that's her fault, 100%. Anyway, 6 ex-employees just filed similar complaints, bringing the total to 9 people. So she's getting the whole Bill Cosby treatment, the dogpiling, all right? First it was just, I think it was 3 dancers, and now you got more coming out as a result. This always happens to male celebrities. Sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's not warranted. We saw a case where it was warranted with Bill Cosby, but we saw a case where it was not warranted with Deshaun Watson. All the accusers recanted, if I'm not mistaken, and he didn't go to jail. Am I right about that? Let me know. Like, it was all BS. What Deshaun Watson was doing was like some massage parlor type activities, and then some people thought it was a way to get a payday to say, oh, he did X, Y, and Z to me, but really it was all above board. It might have been kind of seedy to some people. It might not be a thing that was really morally correct, but it wasn't like he was trying to attack anybody. From what I read, if that's wrong, let me know in the comments below. But hey, this is what you kind of put out there, so you're going to get it. All right. But Lizzo says these are all false allegations. But look, this is the kind of treatment that's going to happen if you are a male accused of anything. And I think when you see more stuff like this come out against women, you're going to see fewer false allegations overall, because people realize that if they do a false allegation, that they can have the same thing happen to them. It's not a one-way thing. That's just what it is. So yeah, shout out to Lizzo. Hey, you got to deal with it. You have to deal with it 100%. All right. Now, people are asking me about Maui. I don't have any evidence that Maui was anything other than a fire. Some people say it was attacked. I have no idea. I don't know anything about that. So I simply don't know. Could it be? Sure. But I don't know if it was or not. I don't have anything other than it was a fire. So that's just what that is. Now, and the thing about Hawaii is that it's already unaffordable. People are having to leave. A lot of the locals, shout out to Hawaii, a lot of the locals are leaving, going to the mainland because they can't afford it. It's already so overcrowded with people that are not from Hawaii, people from other parts of the mainland, California, other countries, and they're buying up property. It's kind of like the Florida effect, but intensified because it's just a small place in the middle of nowhere. You can't really expand and just, you gotta go to the mainland or go to Australia or somewhere like that, Japan, if you are Japanese and you can speak the language. But beyond that, you can't just, there's no more island to create right there. It is what it is. So, yeah, I don't think it's an attempt at BlackRock to try and buy stuff up because it's already been bought up. It's already expensive. So I don't see why they would need that to make it any worse. Do the Obamas live there as well? Maybe they do. Somebody asked me about, you guys want me to play Richmond and north of Richmond? You know what? I've been seeing that song, and I've heard about it. I know where that particular place. Y'all know I'm from Virginia, so I know about Farmville. It's a college right there, and I knew a guy that went to that college. It's like a little small town. So I think I'm gonna play that. Hold on, let me see, and hopefully the dude don't give me a strike or a claim on it. All right. Matter of fact, before I get to my next topic, which also involves music, I'm gonna play that one right there. So, Oliver Anthony, shout out to you, boss. Oliver Anthony, that's the guy's name. And let me see if I can play this. All right. So, Richmond, north of Richmond. A lot of people have been playing this song, and I have not heard it all the way through yet. I've just seen people talking about it. I see he has a clip on his page, and I'm going to play a shorter version and a longer version. Let's check it out. All right. Let's check it out right here.
People like you wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. Cause the rich men, north the rich men.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay. I was like, okay, Richmond through Richmond. So y'all know DC is right there, Northern Virginia, basically. Richmond is like not too far from DC. So north of Richmond, DC. Okay, I get it. With the inflation and everything else. All right. I had no idea what the song was. This is my first time really hearing it. I had seen it played here and there, but I had no idea what it was about. So that song makes a lot of sense. And shout out to him. I'm playing a little bit more of that. That was just a little short version of it. All right.
Well, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. Cause the rich men, north the rich men.
So there we have it. I'll play. I will try to place this in the box somewhere, and I want to get his name right so you guys can go check him out. So his Twitter handle is Ain't Gotta Dollar. Spell how it sounds with all one word. Ain't Gotta GOTTA dollar. DOLLAR. AINT GOTTA DOLLAR. And his name is Oliver Anthony. And the song is called Rich Men North of Richmond. All right. So, and again, if you guys missed what I was saying, that's in reference to Washington, D.C., which is north of Richmond, Virginia. And I think this guy's from Farmville. It's like a little small town out there, Central Virginia. So shout out to him. All right. Yeah, Vivek has nothing on that guy right there. Not at all. Not at all. All righty. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. All right. And that's Ain't Gotta, G-O-T-T, two T's. Ain't Gotta Dollar. All right. Now, speaking of music, we didn't play rap. We didn't play a little bit of country, bluegrass type stuff. Now we're going to play some classical. Okay. Now, this is going to be what some stores are doing to deter criminality out there in Chicago. Let's check it on out right here.
Okay, take a listen. It's a sound you might not expect to hear outside of downtown Walgreens. The store is just one of several now playing classical music outside. But the tunes are not for ambiance. NBC5's Charlie Wojciechowski explains.
This was the scene last month at a South Loop 7-Eleven. A teen takeover had left the convenience store in shambles. The next day, while debris still littered the street, speakers on the building blared opera. Music is the new tool here at Walgreens stores in River North and Greektown as well. But the reason for the music, according to Walgreens, is not to attract shoppers, but rather to discourage people from hanging around the store. In a statement, a company spokesperson confirmed at various locations we have implemented a recorded music loop that plays classical music outside of some stores to help deter loitering on the premises.
So there you have it. And, I was reading some stuff and they said that actually does work. They said, matter of fact, hold on. Here's an article and, it may or may not be true. I'm going to just read what it says right here. This little caption that says, classical music works. Figures released in 2006. These are old numbers, but we can just kind of glean from what you will. Show that when classical music was piped over loudspeakers in the London Underground, robberies dropped by 33%, assaults on staff by 25%, and vandalism of trains and stations by 37%. So maybe it does work. And you know what? They also tried that out the beach in Virginia Beach. Well, what they were doing in Virginia Beach was kind of silly, but they did a similar thing many years ago. And I think they've stopped doing it since, or at least part of it. Now, what they did to try and curb some of the violence on the strip, Virginia Beach oceanfront strip, they put up these signs that had it's like these signs, and it was a circle with symbols that would reference cursing with a line through it. Let me see if I can find that right quick. And on the sign, they would have speakers. And the speakers would play like classical or like light jazz at about 2:30 in the morning, which is when the beach would close. So all the clubs and the bars and everything would close. If your car's parked down there, you're going to get told after like 2:30, 3 o'clock, you got to leave. Like they literally close the beach down. You got to actually exit. If you don't live right there down the beach, you can't be in the public parking lot. You got to go ahead and just vamos. Right now, they eventually took off the signs, but I'm not quite sure about the music. I think the music might still be there. Let me see. Virginia Beach profanity signs. Yeah. All right. So let's check it out right here. Yeah. Matter of fact, here it is. Okay. This is it. Kind of, sort of. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find one that has the whole thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there. Let's put these up. So it was like this. So these signs were everywhere. You see, it has just random symbols. And you just got to kind of know that that means no profanity. Because what had happened down the beach is that they will always struggle with the balance between the oceanfront being a family-friendly place and then a place that would attract the local hood rats and also hood rats from nationwide. And really, the easy way to avoid any of the nonsense is to go in the daytime. If you're down the beach at night is going to get a little rowdy. People drinking. You got locals. You got a hood right there out the beach. Norfolk, Portsmouth ain't that far away. You can just drive there 15, 20 minutes. And then you got SeaTac, all of that type of stuff right there. So you're going to have the hood element. But the easy way to avoid it would be to go during the daytime. During the daytime, it's like Quahog and Family Guy. It's just everything's nice and bright and sunny and nice music and birds chirping and everything else. You go down the beach 12 o'clock at night. You're going to get Miami Uncle Luke 1987. It is what it is. So they were trying to put these signs out there to cut down on the cursing and all that, but it really didn't work too much. And then these signs will also have music that would play from them. I don't know if you could really see it, but it's like speakers. But anyway, they would play music at about 2:30 in the morning. They would play light jazz to clear out the beach. Because what better way to be a party killer? You go from playing rap, metal, and some of the other clubs, techno, drug music, to light jazz. You see what I'm saying? That means the party's over. It's just like when you were in the club and they turn the lights on and then they change the music. It's like, okay, y'all got to get up out of here. Basically, I've been in hotels where they did that. Like in a little lobby, you could kind of hang out, and at a certain point, it's turn the lights on real bright. So it's like, I can't be down here in the lobby no more. You got to go ahead and leave. So yeah, same thing. But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, now, I have a question. Does this make Alex Jones gay? I got a question. And okay, I'm going to be not profane here. Not profane. If you got little kids, maybe kind of plug the ears, but not really. It's not that profane, but I'm just asking the question. Does this make Alex Jones gay? And if anybody says this, would it make them gay? And as a matter of fact, I have another article that I'll ask the same question about, but it'll be somebody else. Okay? So y'all hang tight. Watch this.
Blair's a good person. You look like a woman. Blair White's done nothing wrong. Your bones look like a woman. We're very blessed to have you as an amazing, beautiful, smart person. My genetics says this is a woman. You're an articulate, amazing person, a beautiful person. The way God works mysterious ways, it creates beautiful things. It just shows you how God works in mysterious ways. I know this in my heart. You're a good person. You love the children. You're the perfect spokesperson. This is what they probably should have done over at Bud Light. But inherently, at a spiritual level, I realize that God's working through you, and it's an amazing thing.
So if you guys don't know what's going on, he was speaking about Blair White. Now, Blair White is transgender. You're talking about how beautiful this person, how beautiful he is. I don't know his birth name, but this right here, this person right here is a man. That is a man who identifies as transgender and also conservative. But Alex Jones is kind of drooling over this person. Now, here's a question. Is he gay for that? Y'all let me know. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, you know, what are we really talking about here? You know, he's talking about, well, when I see you, I see a woman. My genetics say you're a woman. What does that mean? Genetics? What are we talking about here, Alex Jones? Can you be a tad bit more descriptive or nah? Like, what are we doing here, Alex? I don't really understand. But hey, I'm not here to judge nobody, okay? I'm not here to judge. I'm just trying to get clarity, and I'm asking for myself. All right? Yeah. Personally, that's not my cup of tea, but hey, man, if you're into that, Alex, it is what it is, man. Are you coming out on this show or what's going on? All right? Somebody said gay adjacent hilarious. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Now, Germanic says you understand. I bet you do. But look, check it out. And no hate, no judging. I'm not here to judge or hate nobody. But check it. Somebody says no, but weird AF. He's always all over the place. He had a Bud Light. Yeah, he probably did have a Bud Light, right? Now, here's another thing that I found about Mr. Barack Obama. Now, here's a question. Wait a minute. Let me just get the full article up. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, here's a question. All right. So Barack Obama wrote a letter to his ex-girlfriend, a white woman, which is funny. We'll get to that in a minute. But in the letter, he told the ex-girlfriend, I make love to men daily, but in the imagination. So he wrote that to his ex-girlfriend at Occidental College. Now, if you say that you make love to men daily as a man, but only in your mind, so you're fantasizing about that, are you gay? Are you, does it make you gay? If you as a man wake up in the morning and say, you know what? Every day, not just you had a random moment, not just an Alex Jones thing where you're looking at Blair White and seeing something that you might not see, beer goggles. Every day you get up in the morning and say that you fantasize about fornicating with men as a man, are you gay? That's my question. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on so I can just, understand what we're doing here. Because things are so confusing nowadays. I don't know what's going on. And you know what I think? I think Mr. Obama is going to lean into this. That's why it's coming out right now, because this has been information that's been out for a long time. The letter is actually held by Emory University. They have the letter. They have the physical letter in their possession, and they've been had it for many years. So why is it coming out right now? He probably wants to lean into it to just say, you know what, hey, I'm bi-curious or something like that, or a bisexual. He might want to lean into it to really appeal to the LGBT. And then enter Michelle Obama, strong black woman, dealing with a troubled black man. She's the reason why he was able to get over the LGBT stuff and become a great man. I see the long-term play. Maybe that's just me wearing my tinfoil baseball cap. Maybe that's just me, but that's the kind of play I'm seeing. Okay, so it is what it is. Now, that's him right there. Now, I mean, come on. Like, come on. Back in the college days, I mean, look, you know what you're looking at, all right? Now, that's the ex-girlfriend right there, Alex McNear. Now, that might be a recent picture or old picture. I have no idea. That's probably an old picture. But that's the ex-girlfriend right there. Now, how do you go from Miss Alex McNear to Michelle Obama? How does that jump happen? You guys know the details behind Michelle Obama, Barack Obama. You know that Obama grew up in Indonesia. Then he went to Hawaii. He's not from the mainland U.S. at all. He came here to mainland U.S. as an adult. Okay, long after he had already been grown up in Indonesia for most of his life. Then Hawaii with his white grandparents. Nothing against anybody of any racism. Just saying this is what happened. And then Michelle Obama, didn't Michelle Obama have a history with George Bush? Like, doesn't she already know George Bush from before she knew Obama? Or was it that Obama knew Bush before Bush became president? It was some kind of weird connection between the Obamas and George W. Maybe even HW. There's a connection there. So my point is this. Was Barack Obama groomed to become president, and then as a president, you can't be a bachelor? Huh? So, okay, we're going to make you be a senator out there in Chicago. We'll make you be an African-American, although you're not. We give you this black wife. We'll assign you some children, and you're going to go out there and be the president, and whatever we say you're going to do. So he goes and says he's against gay marriage, and then once he gets in there, he say, hey, wait a minute. Look, we groomed you to be the president. You're not going to be out here just making decisions. So now you're going to be for gay marriage. All right. And then later on, you're going to come out as gay and you're going to play that role as well. So I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? Y'all just let me know what's going on. I think that this is a whole big play. A lot of these guys, they're kind of groomed for office. It's not just, by happenstance that this guy skyrockets to fame. There's an engine and the movement behind him. And then when you have loose ends, you got a sketchy past, those details get eliminated, X'd out, because again, the letter existed for a long time. Matter of fact, there's a letter right there. They have the letter. It's right there. They have it. And they've been had it for years. But it's just now coming out. It's just now coming out. Why? Because it's time to come out. 2023, everybody's gay. Why not lean into it? It's so crazy, but hey, it is what it is. Again, I'm not hating on nobody that's gay, whatever. But my thing is, I know a play when I see it. I know I play when I see it. Oh yeah, Dwyane Brady. yeah, talking about pansexual. It's like, really? Like, that's not even a word that is used among regular people. Nobody says that. Like, whatever happened to this whole thing? Now, check this out. Speaking about LGBT, now, this right here, I said it during the time I was on Jubilee. When I was on Jubilee, I said that if someone wants to be gay or transgender, maybe like, okay, wait to be an adult. Don't have anybody that's 12 years old say they want to be transgender, because maybe you're going through a phase. Maybe as a boy at 12 years old, you're in an awkward moment. Okay, you're being inundated with TikTok propaganda. Everybody's gay. Everybody's LGBT. And if you are a Hollywood kid, you're around a bunch of just random stuff. You're getting flooded with information, misinformation, confusing messages. So maybe at 12 years old, you're not transgender. Maybe you're just confused, which could apply to the adults as well. But that's a different story, and I digress. I don't think if you're under the age of 18, you can just do that to yourself. Nor do I think it should be a thing your parents can do to you. But anyway, the reason why I'm saying that is because we have this video of Dwyane Wade and his family. And y'all know about Dwyane Wade, right? His one of his sons identifies as transgender. And this boy identified as that as 12 years old. And they began to trot him out there as that, going back to what? I think 2020, 2019, something like that. Now let's check it out. Now what you're seeing right here, okay, you see that's Dwyane Wade right there, because he's going to Basketball Hall of Fame. And by the way, Dwyane Wade was an amazing basketball player. I don't want to take that away from him. He was an amazing ball player. But as far as a father and whatnot, I'm not really sure. That's his actual little girl right there, the daughter. That's his wife, Gabrielle Union. His other boys right there in the white T-shirt. And you see the person right there in the red dress. That is his son, Zion, who now goes by Zaya. All right. Now, what I'm seeing right here is a full-grown man. Wait a minute. I got to zoom in for you guys, because you got to see what I see. And you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen is, I'm turning the volume down. What's going to happen is, as he gets older and older, he's going to get taller and taller. These are all tall people. Dwyane Wade got to be about 6'4", 6'5". Matter of fact, hold on. Let me just look it up right quick. Dwyane Wade height, I think he's 6'5", 6'4". So Dwyane Wade is 6'4". That's him right there, of course, on the right-hand side in the jacket, in the Hall of Fame jacket. So his boy right here in the white is probably about 6'4" as well. And his other boy's got to be about 6'2". Now, what happens when this boy gets to be 19, is 6'6", and looks even more masculine, big chiseled crazy jaw, and he is looking 100% male? How is that going to affect his mental? Now he's got to go get surgery and be looking like Dylan Mulvaney or something, or Bruce Jenner. It's going to be a mess. And then they're wondering why there's so much mental health problems with these people, because when they look in the mirror, they see a man, not a woman, because they're not a woman, they're a man. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. And I blame the parents for letting it happen. I blame the parents, because, your children are going to ask to do certain things, but just because they ask does not mean it should happen. Just like your man Neo, what'd he say? If you let a 5-year-old eat candy all day, they're going to do it. that don't mean you just let them. You set rules, boundaries, restrictions. Back in my day, as old man shaking that cloud, back in my day, there was certain rules. When I wanted to be a turtle, I wanted to be a mutant Ninja Turtle with the headband and the shell. My mom did not take me down to the vet and try to get me to be a turtle, put a shell on my back and web feet and fingers and all that. She didn't do that. It wasn't going to happen. And if I asked for it, it was not going to go down. But parents nowadays, I think it's more the parents trying to live through the children rather than the other way. It's not really the kids asking to do this. I think it's the parents that want to do it to their kids for whatever the reason may be. And I saw Dwyane Wade's son, and an ad for Tiffany, the jury. Okay. And it was crazy. The ad was crazy because he was covering his Adam's apple with the hand gestures. It was a mess. This whole thing is a mess. It's all about money. And I hope that it comes to an end pretty soon. Hold on. Matter of fact, I got to find that ad. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Oh, and the reason why this is so important and why we cover it a lot as conservatives is because I'm gonna show you a video and then you're gonna understand why. You're gonna understand 100% why. Let me just go ahead and get this the way it's supposed to be. All right, so hold on. There we go. Let's do it this way. No, not that one. Give me 1 second and we're gonna get this particular. Matter of fact, let's do it like that. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Let me come back and get that queued up. So now you see this ad right here? This is their son. Might have been about a year or two ago. This is an ad for Tiffany, the jewelry company. Now we're seeing all of these hand poses to cover that big Adam's apple and that big neck, right? Is it just me? Or is that what's happening? Every pose in the world to cover that big throat up, every single pose is the same way. Hey man, you got that big, you muscle bound neck. You got to cover that up, man. Now, here's why all this matters. I got a video for you guys right here. Let's check it on out. Now, this is a Jubilee video. I'm not quite sure when this was filmed. Let's check it out. Hold on, let's get some sound. That might help.
Boys are stronger than girls.
So if you don't know about Jubilee, the way it works is they'll give you a prompt. And if you agree with the prompt, you come forward and you explain why you agree with the prompt. So the prompt here is boys are stronger than girls. And you got kids here that are going to respond. You got 4 boys and 4 girls. And I presume these are all biological boys and girls. I don't think there's any kind of trans stuff going on, but I could be wrong in 2023. I have no idea. Yeah, 4 boys and 4 girls. Now, the question again, or the prompt, boys are stronger than girls. Now, how many kids will come forward, do you think? Give me a rough estimate. How many kids will come forward and agree with the prompt? Y'all let me know. All right, because that right there, your answer will kind of determine like why what I'm talking about right now with the LGBT thing is important. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it. You guys can just somebody said 0, 2, all of them, 3, 2, 0, 0, 100%, 4, none. Again, if you agree with the prompt that says boys are stronger than girls, you come forward. How many will come forward? And then after people come forward, anyone that's left, if any, will then come forward and it say why they don't agree with it. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let it roll. 1 boy. Remember, you had 4 boys, 4 girls. 1 boy came forward and agreed with it.
Well, physically, like, for the most part, in gender roles and stuff like that, boys are just supposed to be stronger. That's just a thing that happens. They work out at the gym. And yeah, girls certainly can work out too if they want. But again, it's more common for boys.
Who's one to say what gender, depends, who's stronger? It doesn't matter what gender you are. It matters who you are. It doesn't matter what you were born. It matters what you want to be.
you could be referring to strength in so many ways, like physically, emotionally, where the strength in your body is placed. Like, it all just depends, and there's just so many factors that go into it.
I play volleyball, and sometimes we play the boys teams, and we we've crushed them a couple times, and it feels so good, So I don't agree with that.
I think getting rid of like these preconceived notions that like boys go to gyms, girls like stay at home. Like, one of my best friends is a girl, and like she's stronger than half the guys I know.
All right, so there you have it. There you have it. See, this is what I'm talking about. Now, out of that group right there, you probably get a lot of them that identify as LGBT, which shouldn't even be happening to kids in middle school. You're talking about these kids, like, let's be clear. These kids are between the ages of, I think, maybe 11 and 13. These are little kids, like not even quite teenagers yet, like preteens, talking like this. So when they get to be in high school and then they become adults to get into college and get into the workforce, what's going to happen? You're going to have a problem. You have a big problem. How are they going to be able to have families and produce children and have society function properly in the way that it should without all the dysfunction and everything else going on? How are we going to maintain infrastructure? How are we going to maintain our place in the world as a dominant society when you got China? And matter of fact, I saw a video from China. It's all kind of stuff going on in China. Aside from the lack of civil liberty, they also their kids don't even really do all that. They getting. I saw a video of Chinese kids like training for like boxing in school. It was crazy. It was a complete it was a complete mess. Right? Not a mess in a bad way, but a mess like, if that's going on over there, we got a problem. We got a serious problem. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. And we have more to get through here. Where are we going to go? Where shall we go? All right. So let's go to, the UPS drivers. Did you guys hear about this? The UPS drivers making, in 5 years, I think they said, in 2028, the average UPS driver can make $170,000 a year and total compensation. So they can make the 170 from their base salary and benefits. That total package is worth $170,000 per year as a UPS driver. Now, this is as a result of the Teamsters Union coming to an agreement with UPS. Now, some are going to say that's too much. There was some controversy with some tech workers. They said that, they shouldn't make that much, all this, that, and the third. And it's weird because when the coal miners got put out of jobs years ago, what was the retort? Learn the code. Remember that? Learn the code. Now that we have guys that do manual labor jobs getting paid big bags of money, all of a sudden, the people, those that know how to code, are saying that they shouldn't be getting it. It's like, well, wait a minute. If I'm making that kind of money I should make without having to do what you do, then why does it matter? Now, and then some are going to say, well, it's not a good thing because the unions are getting greedy and they're going to drive UPS out of business. Well, the thing about it is UPS drivers, they make a lot of money right now. I think they said some base salaries right now is like $98,000 plus compensation package. You get vacations and healthcare, all kind of stuff. All that stuff. Learn to drive. Exactly. There you go. Got to play. Learn to drive rather than learning the code. That is very good. Bats Bombastic. If you make $170 a year as your total package of compensation, you probably got a base salary like $125,000 plus your benefits. You get a pension. You get health care. That's all very good. If you're self-employed like I am, like I have been for the past like 20 years almost, you pay for all of that. You paying for your health care. You're paying for your retirement. You paying, ain't no pension. You pay for everything. If you're able to get a pension and all of that, it makes a big difference. This is why when I played that video of the man that was melting down over the pension not being there, he had planned his whole career strategy going forward based upon the pension promise. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do 30 years. I'll spend money wisely. I buy my house wisely. And then when I'm getting ready to retire, I'm in my 60s. I can go ahead and get a pension to cash out. I might be able to get Social Security or whatever. I'm good. I own my house. I got a pension. I got what I need. And then when the pension's not there, now we got a problem. Now, somebody said self-driving were in that. Well, do you have self-delivery? And you could say the same thing for a lot of these tech jobs, because now we got Chat GPT that has taken over the globe. Chat GPT is real. I've seen people in real life use Chat GPT for everyday functions. Okay, I've seen them do it. I've seen people do schoolwork like that. Real talk. And a thing like that was it was unfathomable when I was even in school. And I'm not that old. I left college in 2007. I left college in 2007, and there was no Chat GPT. The most you could do is like go on Google and copy and paste something and reword it in your own words at best. But I didn't even do that. I was always a good writer and speaker, so I would just write straight from what I believe. I never had to copy and paste anything. But now you got Chat GPT. It does all the work for you. And we're just in the beginning stages of it. So what's going to happen in the future when we have AI that can do all the tech jobs? A lot of what tech workers do is all computer-based. Okay, you got AI to come in there. And of course, you got programs to help you with coding already. You already have those things already to help you with coding. We're not back in the day where everything was on TextPad and all that. You got Dreamweaver, all these different programs help you with coding. So it's only a matter of time before you have AI that can just do the whole work for you. Okay, debugging and everything is already kind of automated as it is. So we're talking about automation trying to kill jobs. I mean, that can happen, but it can happen more in the tech world than it can when you're talking about delivering packages to your doorstep. Okay, we're not going to have drones in the sky quite yet being able to deliver packages. And before I get to that particular story about UPS workers, just a quick note about some people thinking that you can have automation handle everything. First of all, Tesla vehicles have a problem on the road. On the road, they got problems being able to have autopilot. I've seen crashes from Teslas on the actual road. Okay, now here's a funny picture. You see this right here? This is a driving school, and it has the word "Learn to Drive" at the very top. Okay, and channel letters, "Learn to Drive." And then underneath, there's the storefront with glass and brick and mortar. And there's a vehicle that went right through the brick facade, really, and the brick veneer and the glass went straight through it. So Learn to Drive for real. That right there is a great advertisement. Right now, imagine putting these vehicles up in the air and automated or not automated. You're going to get stuff like this. Now, this is a real picture. Somebody somehow, some way crashed their vehicle on the second floor of a house. Now, I don't know what kind of hill they had to hit, at what trajectory, what speed, what angle. I have no idea. But somehow the vehicle is on the second floor of the house. All right. I have no idea how I got up there, but check it out. If you were to have flying vehicles, drones and stuff like that, delivering packages and all this and that, you're going to see that quite a bit. You're going to see it quite a bit. You got people crashing their cars for no reason. For no reason. Just doing random stuff, crashing. So you're going to have this kind of thing happen as well, even with automated vehicles. We're not at the stage quite yet where automation will take over for everything. And also with automation, people kind of get afraid of automation. They say that it's going to kill jobs. I mean, a lot of what we do right now, it has been automated, and we take it for granted. There was a time where you had to get milk and ice brought to your house. Okay, but now you got a refrigerator. That's a relatively new invention. There was no such thing as a refrigerator back in the day, like even in the early 1900s. It wasn't no refrigerator. You had to have ice delivered, and it was a whole big ordeal. you had to have more fresh food because you couldn't keep your food in your refrigerator for forever because there was no refrigerator. You had to farm and get the food right there. So now we have ice that's produced right in your house. You have indoor plumbing. A lot of these things are brand new. You have automation. We don't see it as advanced technology because we've always had it. Just like kids don't see a cell phone as advanced technology because they always had it. To them, it's like second nature. But to us, if you're my age or older, this is a new thing. You know, I remember when there was no cell phones. I remember the old school backpack cell phone, the car phone. Remember the car phone? Wait a minute. If you're young, you probably never seen the car phone. Let me pull it up right quick, and then I'm going to get right back to what I was talking about. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video, oh man, a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. All right, so check it out. A car phone. Remember this right here? If you had this in your car, you were the man. You were like, you were rich if you had that in your car. All right. Like that right there was something else. My granddad had one of those in the car. I think he had at the time, he had a company car. It was like a Ford Bronco, something like that, something similar, or a Jeep, some kind of early SUV. This is like 92, 94, right around then. Okay, he had a car phone right in the center console, an SUV, kind of high off the ground. This was like groundbreaking stuff. Satellite phone, bag phones, all of that. Okay, this right here at one point, this was like the peak. If you had that, you were rich, 100%. But if you see that right now, you'd be like, what in the world kind of, it's vintage. It's like, it doesn't exist anymore. Now we got these phones where you get everything. You could play video games, you could watch movies, all of that. This was unheard of back when I was a youngin'. But again, the things we have now we take for granted. We don't really see it as a big deal, right? We don't see it as a big deal. All right. Yeah. Oh, the Sky Pager, all of that. Yeah, the pagers. I had one of the early cell phones, the big Kyocera with the crazy ringtone, the antenna that would come out. Like smartphones are new relatively, but if you were born in the smartphone era, you don't see it like that. To you, that's like what you always have known your entire life. Oh, so now we going to memory lane talking about ASL. Wow, we doing a lot. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Now, I'm gonna go back to UPS and the workers, the tech workers who are a little bit jealous of UPS guys getting big bags of money. My thing is, hey man, go out there and get that money. If it's available to you, go out there and get it. If you are in a career that has a high demand, then you should do that. You should be getting big bags of money in a high demand career field. That's what it's there for. Let me go check it out right quick. Here we go.
Well, tonight we have new developments and a story we have been following for you for weeks. UPS and the union representing more than 300,000 package carriers have reached a contract agreement preventing a strike. The union was going to strike if the deal had not been reached by July 31st, and our Palacero is breaking down what that contract agreement entails.
The Teamsters Union calls this a historic tentative agreement, one that avoids a strike that would have been felt nationwide. We spoke to one of those union members today.
We deserve it. We worked hard. We worked long hours. We got package car drivers that I hear daily working 12, 13 hours a day out here in 90, 95 degree weather.
A UPS worker and Teamsters Union member speaking with 11 Alive's minutes after a deal between the company and the Teamsters Union was announced. He's worked for the company for over 2 decades.
I'm fortunate enough to, work for a company like UPS and fortunate enough to be a Teamster. Teamster first, UPS second.
Now, let's pause right quick. How do y'all feel about unions and, to be exact, Teamsters? How do y'all feel about that? Like, do y'all think that's a good thing, bad thing? Do you think unions have their place? Do you think they are more of a hindrance than something that helps workers? what's your take on unions? We'll get into that a little bit later, but I'm curious because I see kind of like mixed reviews. And I think overall, unions have a bad reputation. They're not really seen as a good force. Every time I see anything about unions, I see them as, they kind of bureaucratic and they're just taking money and they don't help the workers. But in this case, they appear to have helped, but I could be wrong.
The 5-year agreement, which still faces a ratification vote by workers, includes raises for both full and part-time workers, with both getting $2.75 more per hour this year and $7.50 more per hour over the length of their contract, according to the union. It adds that the starting pay for part-time workers will be $21 per hour, a bump from the current minimum starting pay of $16.20. The two sides also agreed to make Martin Luther King Jr. Day a full holiday for the first time and to add more trucks with air conditioning. The employee says he is glad negotiations went through and that the looming strike did not have to happen.
Nobody wants to see a strike. It's not good for UPS. It's not good for the Teamsters. It's not good for the consumer out there. They're not going to get their package. But when it comes down to it, we have to strike. It sucks. But UPS, they just got to come to the table and do it. And they did.
In a statement, UPS's CEO says they reached a win-win-win agreement on the issues that are important to Teamsters leadership, UPS employees, and UPS customers. In Atlanta, Paul Lasura.
So there we go. So UPS drivers getting big bags of money. Also the workers just, sorting packages and whatnot. They're also getting their money as well. Now, here's the question. Will this cause the cost of shipping to increase? How will the new pay get paid for? That's my question. Okay, that's my question. I'm seeing mixed comments. Some say it's propaganda. They just want new employees. Not all UPS are union. So that's a question. So if not all UPS are union, then does this new thing affect union members or all of UPS? It's a good question. Because I would think you got to be part of the union to get the advantages. Yes, or maybe I'm wrong. But some say, it's the Teamsters or the mob. Some say they're great. It's all over the place. Some say they're in a union, they hate it. Some say they're in a union and they love it. It's all over the place. But my question, I saw that back up. Teamsters first, UPS. That was kind of crazy. But my question is, will the pay increase for drivers and also regular workers? Will this cause the cost of shipping to rise? If it does, then that's going to be an issue for sure, because you're going to kind of add to the inflationary bubble. And that is a really big problem right now. That is a big problem. Matter of fact, I got a video, I think, about that as well. There was a video that kind of went viral. I'm going to show that in a minute about inflation. Let me see if I can find the one I wanted to look for. Yeah, because I thought it was pretty interesting.
Hey,
okay, not this one. But here's the one. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to find the original one. Talking about the American dream. Where did the American dream go? All right, let me find that one. And then we're going to keep on rocking and rolling. Because I think that one is great for conversation, because people are going to have mixed opinions about it. Okay, here we go. Matter of fact, yeah, we could play that and then that'll work. So, but going back to UPS before we get to the American Dream video. So people are kind of triggered. Tech workers are kind of triggered talking about UPS drivers getting big bags of money. You see the headline right here on Yahoo News, or from Business Insider. Tech workers react to UPS drivers landing $170,000 a year package with a mixture of anger and admiration. All right, let me just skip to some of the comments from the tech workers. So it says, some tech workers on social media pointed out the salary boost can make the driver salaries more competitive with white-collar employees, and big tech workers responded with a mix of ire and appreciation for the union. My thing is, whatever you do and you're getting money legally, it doesn't really matter what it is. The days of get a real job, all that kind of stuff is over with. Whatever you do, my advice to anybody looking for more money and especially young people trying to get into the job market is have a lot of skills, be able to do a lot of different things, and don't think anything is beneath you. You know, because some people say, you know what, I'm not going to be driving no box. I ain't going to put on no brown outfit. I hear these things. I ain't going to deliver no package. Well, look, man, whatever you do to make money, you can provide for yourself and your family members. It's all that really matters. It don't really make a difference. As long as you ain't doing nothing illegal, that's really the main thing, or compromising your religious beliefs or whatever. But driving a UPS truck, sorting the packages, working in big tech, whatever you want to do, that's on you. Being an entrepreneur, although being an entrepreneur is not for everybody, but that's a different story. Anyway, here's a comment. Quote, it's disappointing. How is it possible that a driver makes more than an average engineer in research and development? So this person wrote that on Blind. It's an anonymous job posting site that verifies users' employment using company emails. To get a base salary of $170,000, you need to work as hard as an engineer. This sucks. It's important to note that the $170,000 it's a package. Your base salary plus your benefits. All right, that's the main thing. So when you see that number 170, that's not just your take-home pay. You're gonna get paid. You're gonna get paid a base salary and benefits. You won't get in cash. You'll get that as part of the valuation in the package. All right. So check it out. I'm not demeaning other people, but putting into perspective how much it takes for an SW or finance person to make that kind of money, exclamation mark. Meanwhile, several workers, including the metal workers, said that software engineers are underpaid. The Too Simple worker wrote, the engineers that created the truck he drives are more important because the impact to society is higher, including providing a tool for work. Who's to say that anybody is more important than the other in this situation? Okay, you make the truck or you provide systems. Well, I ain't gonna say that. You work for the company that provides the truck's operating system, perhaps. If you got an semi-autonomous truck, perhaps you work for that company. You have a role to play, but I gotta drive the truck, so you work on part of the truck. I drive the truck. We're all part of the same machine that has the ultimate goal of delivering packages. And that's it. The truck's got to be able to go on the road. It needs certain systems, certain little technology and nannies and whatnot in the vehicle. I got to be able to drive it. I got to deliver the packages. It has to get serviced. It's probably going to some place to get it serviced mechanically beyond the computer stuff. We all got to work in unison to make this whole thing happen. So why be upset about that? People are getting jealous. And one thing that you shouldn't be doing is coveting what someone else has. Comparison is a joy killer for sure. Brains versus brawn. You know what? The people that are complaining that work in tech probably could not go in that truck and deliver packages because that's not an easy job to have. Okay, rain, sleet, snow, shine. You out there with the truck delivering heavy stuff. People get all kind of stuff delivered. I know I did that one time. And they got mad at me. So many years ago, I had a bed frame delivered through Amazon, I think. Yeah, I bought a bed frame on Amazon, and it was a king bed frame. And I had it brought to I had it delivered to my my UPS box. I don't know why I did that. Oh, I know why I did that. When I did that, I was in an apartment at the time. So I ain't want to have them like bring it to my apartment. It wasn't going to be able to. So I was like, okay, bring it to my UPS box. So when I got to the store to pick it up, somebody had wrote on it, "You suck." It's like, really? Really? I mean, come on, that's crazy. But I understand the frustration. I do get it. I understand because you lifting this big, heavy, king-size bed frame, wood, metal, all of that, and putting it behind the counter of a UPS store. I understand. I get it. But the point is, they are dealing with some really heavy, oblong, weird-shaped stuff, getting bit by y'all crazy dogs y'all can't put on a leash. Every single time I see UPS video on the Ring camera, somebody's dog is just running amok. Big dogs, small dogs, all kind of dogs. It's like, please put your dog up somewhere. All right. He don't got to be outside tied up on a chain, but get him a little kennel or something, put him inside the house. Why must your dogs, plural, run out on me when I'm delivering my packages? And for some reason, dogs love to bite people in uniforms. Who loves a man in uniform more? A young lady or your pit bull in your front yard? Because if it's a young lady, I can't tell. The pit bull loves a man in uniform. Will bite his head clean smooth off for no reason other than wearing a uniform. But anyway, I digress. So here's a video about the American dream. There's some frustration out there because we got inflation going on. And you know what? The thing about inflation is that this is a thing that people who are complaining about it many times voted for. And we warned people about inflation. We said, hey, if you keep printing and spending money, you're going to have inflation. They said, now what's the number one response you get to that? Oh, we're going to have that anyway. We always have inflation. That's so, that's the thing I hate the most. When someone says you're going to have inflation, it don't matter, print and spend. That's like saying, hey, you're going to die. You might as well just jump from the building. It's like, yeah, you can't live forever, but I want to live for a long time. I'm not going to bring it into my life early because it's going to end. I'm going to live my life as long as possible. Same thing with inflation. It shouldn't really be happening, but if it does, you want to minimize it, not accelerate it, but here we are. So now we got inflation. Things are costing a lot. It's ridiculous. And what are you going to do? Matter of fact, hold on. I think I have more than one video I want to show you guys. There was a video about some food inflation. Let me see if I can find that as well. Yeah, here we go. I'll play both of these. This is actually perfect because it's going to tie into it. Perfect. All right, let's check it out right here.
All this rent and do some traveling, see some sights that we ain't never seen before. Honestly, I think it's time, guys. I think it's time.
Here's the short version. We went to the same Costco in the same town in Southern Oregon and bought all the same stuff as we did 8 years ago, Back in 2015, this cart of food cost $139.76. That's a lot of food. That's a full shopping cart of food. It's all mostly healthy because that's how I used to eat 8 years ago. And in 2023, at roughly the same time of year, summertime, this cart of food costs $171.26. Jason, my buddy, Jason, he just did the math on that, and that's...
Tried to, yeah.
Tell us, what was it?
It was about 23%.
23% food increase.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? So from 2015 to 2023, the food has inflated by 23%. At least in his cart right there. The food that he got in 2015, the exact same food items increased by an average of 23%.
Is that a lot? Is that significant? I think it's pretty significant.
I didn't get a 23% increase in pay.
And there you have it right there. See, you got inflation going on from printing and spending, and things are costing more, and the rate of inflation is going so exponentially high, it's not matching your increase in pay. It's not a natural thing. It's just so arbitrary. And as we keep raising the interest rates to try and reduce inflation, you're going to have more of it. It's a mess. Well, actually, in my opinion, raising the interest rates is to try and make the money become, it's trying to bring things back down to earth, but it's not, it will increase inflation. Try buying a house right now. That's probably the worst kind of inflation you have, because homes are becoming more expensive to purchase. And as the interest rate rises, it makes it worse. If you have an interest rate of, let's say, 3% on the mortgage on a house that costs $400,000 and it goes to 7%, your monthly payment on the loan of, let's just say $400, even though it's going to be less. Let's just say $400. it could be like $1,000 more per month for your payment just because of the interest rate going up from 3 to 7. $1,000 extra per month on your mortgage payment for the same house, the same price. Then on top of that, you're going to have a more expensive house and a higher interest payment. So the house you could have bought in 2020 for $400,000 is now $500,000, $600,000, and the rate has more than doubled. Unaffordable.
I don't need to raise
In the
my
last
prices.
8 years?
Yeah. No.
I am so tired of feeling helpless as a parent. Yes, my kids are grown adults. My oldest is 28, my youngest is 25. And I thought by teaching them what I learned, which is you work hard, you get a good job, you're going to get the things in life that you need, right? Worked for me, why wouldn't it work for them? Because it doesn't. Because the world has fucking changed, all right? And now,
sorry for the cuss, not my fault. Blame the white lady.
now I feel like I see them struggling, and before my generation comes at me, yes, I understand struggling is a part of life. We all struggled, but there's a difference between struggling and drowning, all right? So we struggled, and it was tough, but you know what? We made it. We knew there was a light at the end of the tunnel with our struggle. It seems like kids today, no matter how much they struggle, they just get further and further down the water into the drowning point, all right? When I was their age, I was making less than $10 an hour, and I could afford to live on my own. Now you have to be making six-figure salary to get a decent, tiny little place to live. So what the fuck is going on, and how do we help them as parents? I told my son, all you have to do is work hard, go to college, or join the military like I did. He went to college, got his degree, got a full-time job. He moved back in with me right when he graduated from college because he said, hey, Mom, as soon as I get a job, which was within 2 weeks of him getting out of college, maybe take me 2 months and I'll save up enough money for me to move out. Okay, cool. It's been 10 months. He has saved almost every dime and still can't afford to live. Why are one-bedroom studio apartments almost $2,000 a month? Why? Like, I just...
Now, you know what? Things are really expensive depending upon where you live. Now, how much are apartments where you live? Because if you were able to buy a house many years ago, like my parents, mom and dad, all of them, they bought their house in the 90s or before that. Things were different back then. A house in 1998 costs a lot less than what it does right now. For the same amount of house, it costs a lot less. Even with repairs and everything, you're still going to pay a lot less for a house that you purchased back then versus right now. And even when you account for inflation, it's still going to be a lot less than it is right now. So my question is, how much are apartments where you live? A 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom in an okay neighborhood? I've seen the apartments for like where I live, Chattanooga. You go downtown, you could pay $1,500 for a 1-bedroom, and that's actually pretty good. Maybe a little bit less. Probably like if you live kind of in the hood, $1,000 for a 1-bedroom in the hood in a small city. Atlanta, Nashville, somewhere like that, forget about it. You want to live in the city? $2,000 easy for a 1-bedroom, and the neighborhood might not be all that. Midtown is supposed to be kind of a trendy area, but there's always some kind of violence going on, always some shooting and killing and thugging and drugging. You paying $1,800 for a 1-bedroom, $2,000 or more, and you got some shoddy Chinese construction, elevator not working in the high rise. It's a mess. So I'm seeing people say, oh, Austin, Texas, forget about it, Scott. Austin, Texas, you might as well go back to California. So Garfish says $1,800, $2,000 for something decent. A Rapport says $1,600 typically. Jim Jones says 1-bedroom in California, Bay Area, $2,800 and up. Captain Tripp says $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Stranded Lifeform says 1-bedroom apartment in my area, average $1,200 for a 1-bedroom. Vanity Pooh says $3,000 plus a month in Canada. Now, where you at? You in Ontario? Like, what's going on? What part of Canada are we in? I'm seeing the average about $1,800, $2,000, $1,750. Yeah. Now check it out. Watch this. I'm 38. I know I got gray hair. Whatever. Okay, cool. I look like Santa Claus. That's fine. But check it out. When when I got my first apartment, this was 2008. Was it 08? Yes, 2008. I was 23 years old. I turned 24 that year, 2008. My very first apartment was in an area that was not hood. It was kind of hood adjacent, but not hood. It was cool. We didn't really have any kind of crime or nothing like that. It was pretty kind of low key, but kind of close to the hood. 2 bedrooms, washer dryer hookup. Nice little spot. 900 square feet. My rent was, wait for it, $775. And I stayed there for about 8-9 years. And at the end of it, my rent was $980 maybe. It wasn't $1,000. It might have been $950. Okay, and I left in 2017. Yeah, 2017. My rent was $980. But in 2007, $775. Yeah, it was hood adjacent, Monique. It was not hood, but across the street it was hood. But it wasn't like too close. It was a highway right there, so it was a nice little division. All right. But yeah, now in the hood part, you could get an apartment for a lot less. But where I live, you go in there in 07, 08, $800. But now, those same apartments probably about $1,200. And they're okay, but they're not all of that. Now, if you want to have like a nice spot downtown, something like that, you're paying $2,000 or $3,000. Like in the big city environment, oh yeah, all day long. Your rent used to be $400. Hold on, my fault. Your rent was $400 at one point. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. Van down by the river. That's probably at this point that might be a good option. People are doing that. Shout out to Flecker's Talks. I was watching what he said. His podcast preview on Instagram, and he was talking about how back in the day they had van life. Now it's Toyota Camry life. It's Honda Accord life. People are living in their regular daily driver sedans instead of a van and calling it, some kind of minimalistic living. But you're homeless for real. But that's going on more and more. Young people, young women living in their Toyota Camrys. It's crazy because rent's too much, and people work a lot of times, and they still living in their crib. Okay, Mr. Ant the Great says here in Charlotte, nice area between 1,600 and 1,850 for a 1-bedroom. So imagine trying to be married with kids and all that kind of stuff and living in an apartment with a 2-bedroom and having 4 people in there. It could be a mess. You probably go in the house, and the house going to be an arm and a leg to be able to rent. All right. Somebody said, Ultima Life, homeless adjacent. Hey, those Nissan Altimas, those are highway missiles. Those things become race cars on Interstate 75. But I'll tell you what, it's always, when I see an aggressive driver, it's always somebody behind the wheel of a Nissan Altima. Let me go back to her right quick, then I'll wrap it on up, put the bow on it.
Don't get it. So I don't even think that there's even classes anymore. There used to be, upper class, middle class, lower class. It's literally turning into the ultra wealthy, and then everybody else is just poor. Like, that's what is happening. And then I told him, hey, when you turn 25, at least your car insurance will go down. Hell no, he turned 25, and his car insurance went up $150. I tell him, if you need health insurance, get a good job. He has health insurance. He has had a medical emergency this week. Had to go to emergency room twice. He had to go to the emergency room because he couldn't get anybody to see him with the health insurance that he had, right? So he had to go to an emergency room. Now he's out money for that too. It seems like you can never get ahead. And then my daughter, I told her all you have to do because she wanted to buy her own house. My daughter worked 6 days a week, 12 hours a day to save up enough for this down payment. Finally got this house. She's paying double what I'm paying for my mortgage, but her loan was the same amount. And then her...
Yeah, and you know what? I just got done saying that. So her daughter made a bad decision. I would not buy a house right now because of the interest rates and the price of the actual house. The houses are way overinflated and the rates are too high. I would not buy a house right now at all. I would rent for sure because how are you going to sell that house? Because what's going to happen is you're going to have a cratering of home prices potentially. It might not, but it might. How are you going to sell that house with that really high rate and the high price? You got two things that are high: interest rates and the homes themselves. How are you going to sell that? That's your forever home, and you don't even know it.
Her mortgage company, after she's already moved in, said, oh, by the way, we forgot to tell you that you need this type of coverage, which we forgot in the beginning. That's an extra $200 you've been paying a month. And all they see when they come home is they watch social media, kids their age on lavish vacations with all this money and nothing to do, all these social media influencers, because we value those types of things over hard workers. We will pay.
But see, the thing about social media, that's fake though, because you watching that and getting jealous. You're getting envious of people on social media, but a lot of that stuff is fake. You don't know what they did to get that kind of vacation. You have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. You know, you'll see somebody that is happy on social media, happy marriage, a lot of money, lavish trips and vacations, but you don't know that they're about to get divorced. You don't know that that vacation was funded by some illicit funds from scamming or something else illegal. You have no idea. So don't get caught up in that whole game of trying to compare stuff on social media, because a lot of that stuff is fake. You're comparing yourself to a facade. It makes no sense. That's like trying to compare your life to a movie character. This is fake. It's not real.
Pay them $10,000, but you work 40 hours a week, you can't afford it.
Hi. All right. So here's I ain't gonna play the rest, but that was a pretty good video compilation. This is from Shar on Demand. Shout out to her. She had a compilation of a few videos like that, but I'm gonna show you an example of what I'm talking about. As far as you'll see a thing on social media you think is real, but it's not. And you know, these rappers
I'm a disillusioned millennial.
Okay, let's not. These rappers are like the chief suspects behind that kind of thing. Let me put it up here right quick. So here's this rapper, G Herbo. You have no idea what that is. It doesn't really matter. But there's a lot of guys that are like this. Now, these kind of guys rap about shooting and killing and thugging and drugging and all kind of violent, dangerous lyrics. But they go to jail for wire fraud, stuff like scamming. That's what they do. They'll tell you all this stuff about how they shoot, kill, thug, drug. I got 1,000 people I done shot and killed, and I'm dangerous. I'm a wild, dangerous guy with a gun. But in reality, they are a scammer. And when they put social media stuff out there of their trips, vacations, and whatnot, it's funded by the scamming. It's not funded by their rap songs talking about street life, the gang stuff. It's not funded by their success in rap. It's funded by a lot of scamming. There's been quite a few guys that got caught up in scamming. They got caught and went to jail. A lot of guys have done it, and that's kind of like becoming very common. You'll see all kind of guys, regardless of what they do, regardless of race. I don't want to make it be like a rapper or black guy thing. It's all over the place. Some of the white collar crime you see out here is crazy. If you ever watched the ESPN documentary called 30 for 30 Broke, if you've not seen that, if you're worried about money and all that, please watch that. That documentary was so good. One thing they showed in the documentary was the high level of forgery that goes on. Here's a matter of fact, let me see if I can find the clip. Bernie Kosar. Let me see. I'm gonna find the clip right quick and play it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Perfect timing. Let's check it out right quick. Fair use, ESPN. Come on, don't do me like that. So look at this. By the time they have been retired for 2 years, 78% of former NFL players have gone bankrupt or are under financial distress. I'm reading the screen. Within 5 years of retirement, an estimated 60% of former NBA players are broke. That's from 2009, Sports Illustrated. Let's check it out.
My first contract, I think it was $6 million over 5 years.
7.6 million, 2.5 million a year. Number one all time. That's the biggest NFL contract in NFL history for a defensive player.
Yes, Browns quarterback Bernie Kosar.
500,000.
$33.5 million for 7 years.
And then I went on a splurge.
They're not gonna show it right here because I want to hear his story about his father. So basically, Bernie Kosar, him right here. When he was in the league, when he first got to the league, his dad went behind his back and signed a contract for himself for $1 million and didn't tell him. Basically took, I don't know how the dad did it. The dad took $1 million for himself. I mean, it's crazy. People will do all kind of things for their almighty dollar. Rob from your own children. One guy, I forget who it was, white guy, said that his mom sent him a bill in a locker room when he got done playing. The bill was for raising him. And there was a note said, hey, if you don't want to support us anymore, give me some money back. Pay me back for raising you. It's like, I didn't ask to be here. Y'all made me and you raised me. That's your responsibility. Look, people will do anything for money. So when you see things on social media, lavish trips, vacations, you have no idea what's going on in behind the scenes. You have no idea how much debt they're in. You have no idea what they did to get that money. You have no clue. And if you only knew what people do, I know a lot of stuff like this behind the scenes that I won't say a word about, that I would never tell because I ain't no snitch. But seriously, I'm being dead serious. So don't even worry about it. It's to the point now where I see social media and I see people that are going like lavish trips and vacations. Matter of fact, I don't know what kind of car this was being repoed. It might have been a Lamborghini or something. So you might have saw that car on Instagram and somebody riding in it like, hey, that's a nice car. Wish I can get that car. You might become covetous, but then you realize, oh, wait a minute. That's somebody that can't even afford the payments on that. They got it repoed. I watch a lot of these channels where they talk about repos and the cars in the lot, and they got C8 Corvettes, Ferraris, Lamborghinis. Oh, always in the repo lots, Chargers or Challengers, always brand new. 5,000 miles on it. I mean, they get the car for Instagram and they can't pay it after like 3 months and it gets repo right away. Imagine going to the dealership, applying for financing, getting approved, getting a Charger and refusing to pay it right away and then getting it repoed for what? So you can look cool on Instagram for a month? Whatever. Anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okie dokie. We have some super chats. I did not get to all my topics today, but it's okay. I cover a lot of these things already. Fani Willis was a big one. Fani Willis, a lot of you guys found that kind of entertaining because of the rumor about Fani Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney, having an affair with a guy by the name of Big Nut. That was his name, Donovan Big Nut Thomas. To address that quickly before we get to the super chats. Did you guys see what Trump said about Fani Willis? Saying that there was a rumor that she had an affair with a gang member. And you guys know that Trump may be indicted by Fani Willis out there in Fulton County for the 2020 election interference. You guys know about that, right? So what he's talking about is not bogus. It's a real thing. There was a rumor. There's a rumor about her, and there was also an article from Rolling Stone that kind of related to what was going on. I'll play that right quick, then I keep on rocking and rolling. Let's check it out for me.
They waited, and I probably have another one. They say there's a young woman, a young racist in Atlanta. She's a racist. And they say, I guess, they say that she was after a certain gang, and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a gang member. And this is a person that wants to indict me. She's got a lot of problems, but she wants to indict me to try and run for some other office. What's going on in this country is, and by the way, wants to indict me for a perfect phone call. This was even better than my perfect call with Ukraine. Remember that shit?
Trump is like always, regardless of what you feel about Trump, always entertaining, always and factual, nothing but facts. And he's not afraid to really just go there and say stuff like that because That's kind of a third rail topic to address something like that. But he's gonna go out and say it, because look, what he's talking about is this article right here. Okay, look, this is Rolling Stone. I'm on the article. I'm on the website right now. This is from January 25th, 2023. And it says, Fani Willis was a lawyer for YSL co-founder. He says she's not who she seems. And it goes on to say, one of Young Thug's associates, YSL Mondo, says that Fani Willis acted differently from her public persona while serving as his defense attorney in 2019. Now, that's her right there, Fani Willis. She is the person who may be the prosecutor in the case against Trump in Fulton County if they file it, which she's rumored to file. Now, she's currently indicting YSL. I thought it was called Young Slat Life, but it's Young Slime Life. These guys are a gang. If you ask them, their record label, they rap, called Young Stoner Life. But according to Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia, the authorities, people that told on them, their name is Young Slime Life. It's a blood set gang in Atlanta. Now, these guys are being indicted. Young Thug, big famous rapper. He is the head of the pack. He's in custody right now, if I'm not mistaken, or he's going to court a lot. A lot of guys got indicted. They said there were 50 murders attributed to YSL over like a 5-year period from 2015 on up until 2019, 2020-ish, right around that time. Now, the reason why there were so many murders is because there was a gang war between YSL, who are currently being indicted, currently being prosecuted by Fani Willis, and another gang called YFN. Now, a lot of these guys from YFN are already in jail. One of the main guys from YFN is named YFN Lucci, and he has a child with Lil Wayne's daughter, Reginae. Different story, I digress. The point is, she was the lawyer for one of the co-founders of YSL, who she's currently prosecuting. This was before she became a DA. This was her last case before becoming a DA. Now, is that a conflict of interest? You're prosecuting YSL. Thank you for that, Lucivelli, YFN Lucci. But if you're prosecuting YSL right now, but your last case as a lawyer was defending one of the co-founders of YSL, is there a conflict there? And also, the guy she was defending is not in the current indictment of YSL. If he was in the current indictment, could she preside over the case? Why is he not in the indictment? If they're getting random guys that were linked to the group, but were not co-founders, but were not accused of doing any kind of violent crime like Gunna, why is the co-founder not being indicted? So, rumor right there. Also, the whole thing about the co-founder is not even really the thing. The thing is about a guy by the name of Big Nut. You see, let's go to Big Nut. So Donovan Big Nut Thomas was rumored to have some kind of relationship with Miss Willis. Now, he got murdered in 2015, allegedly by YSL, the gang that she's now prosecuting. So be clear. Her rumored ex-boyfriend or ex-something male friend was with YFN. He allegedly gets murdered by YSL. She is prosecuting YSL. And the guy that she was defending, who was in YSL before she became a DA, is not in the current indictment of YSL. So there's something there. If it was me, I'd be like, okay, we have a possible ethics violation, conflict of interest. You should recuse yourself because of all the allegations or appearances of impropriety. Something's going on. So when Trump said that, he wasn't really off base. He wasn't really off base. The only thing is that it might not have been who they thought he was referring to, YSL Mondo, the co-founder who's not being indicted right now. It could have been Donovan Big Nut Thomas. And by the way, When Big Nut got murdered, that sparked the gang war that caused 50 murders in Atlanta over the course of about 5 years. It sparked the whole war. Big Nut is the reason why YSL are being indicted. That's the whole thing that caused it. And that was rumored to be her boyfriend, quote unquote. We got a problem. So look, if I was her, to be clear, if I was her, I would not try to indict Trump because you got some demons, some skeletons in your closet you got to work out. I would not try to put myself in and she wants to potentially go to a higher level of office. She may want to become the governor of Georgia one day. Maybe she wants to run for president one day. She seeks higher office. But I wouldn't do it. You got some serious issues to deal with that ain't going to go away. The streets say that her and Big Nut were fornicating, and that's going to be a problem in a legal way. Because if Big Nut was murdered by YSL and she's prosecuting YSL, you got a personal axe to grind. But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. We got super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All righty. Let me go ahead and keep rocking here. Thank you to Mika G, who says, thank you for tonight's discussion and support of the channel. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, Mika. Thank you to Unifier TV for becoming a part of the ABL squad. I appreciate you, boss. Thank you to No Quite Guilt, who says, why did Curry Spice think a bunch of 40 and 50-something white folk wanted to hear him rap? Go Trump. Thank you. Curry Spice was hilarious. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, please play the new song, Richmond and North of Richmond. Great song by Virginia native Oliver Anthony, going viral everywhere. Shout out to you. I played that earlier if you guys didn't catch it. Thank you to Unifier TV, who said, almost at 1 million on YouTube. Thanks for all of the deep, detailed analysis. You're my inspiration. P.S. I still need that sir mug in black. I got you, boss. I'm on it. Thank you for that. Thank you to Heinz Ketchup, who says, cheers, ABL. Thank you for that. Thank you to Jaleisha Salvatore, who says, can I sing a country song to you? I'm a brown German, but out here, I have a good singing voice. Yeah, hey, come on up. And if you're able to get on, you can go ahead and give me a few bars of your song. Thank you to DK Me, who says, last month, a father died saving his daughters from drowning. Please pray for his family. Full story, Gibson Go Henry Brooks. Thank you for that. Thank you, Robert Out of Reason, who says, how long until Dwyane Wade's son gets that sponsorship with Vaseline? I ain't going to read that one, man. Come on. But thank you for that. Thank you to Unifier TV, who says, there was 2012 Newsweek cover that featured Obama with a rainbow halo and a title, The First Gay President. I think it's a real cover. That was a real I remember when that came out. Yeah, I remember when it first came out. So maybe they knew a thing we didn't know. Maybe they had intel that we were not privy to at that time. Thank you to Anzac for your donation that says, howdy. Rebel Without a Reason says, these darn kids don't want to clean their room or brush their teeth and want to eat candy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They cannot make life-altering decisions. Correct. Rebel Without a Reason also says, if kids can change their gender, they can be pilots, or can they be pilots? Well, I tell you what, I don't want no little crumb snatcher in the cockpit of an airplane, like going from ATL to Miami. That's not going to be very pleasing or very comforting. Thank you to Monique Price, who says, watch how the tech people complaining on the same types who were on TikTok with their, what I do in the Davids, doing nothing but eating. Exactly. Talking about, oh, I got all these skills. Skills at doing what? Scarfing down sushi all day? I mean, cut it out. Rebel Without a Reason says, the economy is devastated, but no more mean tweets. Exactly. Yeah, that's fine. The economy's in shambles. Everything's upside down, but no more mean tweets. So we're all good. Rebel Without a Reason also says, can you give a shout out to Sonia? She's listening. Shout out to Sonia. I'm glad you're watching. I appreciate you for your support as always. And thank you to J Flo, who says, great show, ABL and 2A all day. US with the eagle emoji. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, boss. Now, let's go ahead and get into the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. It is all good. All right. There's also an email and Skype. If you want to be right here, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, audio and video. I'd appreciate you if you called on up. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. 918, you're the line I'm speaking to.
Hey, what's up, baby? I got my line turned. Okay. Hey, it's Davey Scotch from Oklahoma. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Hey, not a lot, man. Just kind of called in to say a few quick things. Nothing too serious. Man, this big nut, dude. I never heard of it. Oh, yeah, these rapper names nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, back in the day, man, you know, I love Snoop, I love Dre, you know, and Tupac. And then, like, everyone started changing their name to, like Lil Jon, Lil Wayne, you know. It's like, why do you want to be little? Why don't you change your name to Big something, like Big John?
Right.
You know, I mean, why do you want to be, I don't know, man. Anyway, that's just my 2 thoughts on that. I don't keep up with the rap drama or any of the pop music drama anymore. It's just too much, you know. What else was I gonna say? Hey, the German girl that called in earlier, I'd like to hear some of her stuff. She says she likes country music. I'm kind of wondering what she likes. You know, hopefully it's old school country.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I'm back from my ailment at the hospital. I feel better, thankfully. And I'll just say, all those like Trump people at the Erie, Pennsylvania event. And we're Americans. You know, we just want things right. And Trump is the guy that the deep state, the swamp, is trying to put down. I mean, it's so obvious. But I don't know. I got a lot more to say, man. I had to say that for another time, you know. So I'll let you go, man. I love you, man. Love everybody in the chat and the callers. And yeah, love this whole community you got going on, man. You got it going, dude. And about to hit 1 million subscribers. So that's cool.
Well, thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Later, dude.
All right. Shout out to you guys for calling in. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. Who want to speak it to? 817, you on the line?
Yes, this is Lisa.
All righty. What's going on?
Okay. Can you hear me?
I heard you well.
All right. Okay. So I had a few questions, and okay. So sorry. Okay. So I wanted to talk about like the gender, like how guys, you know how they like when the ones dress up as women and think like the Mulvaney or whatever his name is. How he thinks like, oh, this is my celebrating like his life that he's the 300-something day of his girlhood. Or anyway, it's like you don't even know what girlhood is. Like, you get these cramps, and then and you want to get these cramps. You want to feel this pain. You want to feel these mood swings. You don't even know. And then so there's people that's like, oh, you're gatekeeping womanhood. How do you gatekeep womanhood? I didn't ask to be a woman. I'm just a woman. That's so stupid to me. But anyway, well, how do you feel about that?
About what specifically? About people like Dylan Mulvaney or what?
Yes, how Dylan Mulvaney, how they think that they're the men that think that they're a better woman than a real woman.
I got 2 words for that: mental illness.
Oh my God. Okay. And then oh my gosh. Okay. And then so I was like, okay, Joe Biden's like, but when he was like, thought he was cool. He was like, he thought he was cool in Arizona. That's where his butt was. In Arizona, he had his legs crossed, thinking he was cool. Well, I want to say about this thing. Does he not know? Like, okay, you're gonna make these expensive electric cars. We barely can afford the cars that we got. And you're gonna make these electric cars. So are y'all trying to delete us at some point or what? I don't know. How do you feel about that? Because I don't think it's I don't think that's right. Because, like, what if all our electricity pop off and it's shut down? Then how are we going to charge our car? Are we going to, oh, well, we just wait for solar charge. And then so we solar charge it, and then in the middle of the night, we're traveling, trying to get somebody to the hospital. All of a sudden, that thing die. Bang. Then what? I think that's stupid.
It is dumb. It's all about control, really, because if they can control the grid, the power grid, then you're not going to be able to go anywhere in your gas powered vehicle.
Right.
So yeah, you can't. That's going to be a problem.
Right. And then I also want to ask you, how did your pager sound? Because I know you mentioned that earlier in the show. How did your pager sound? Did it beep? I never had a pager, but like I wanted to like how did it sound? What sounded?
I never had a pager. I had a Nextel chirp, and I had like a regular cell phone. I never had a pager though. I had a Nextel.
Ooh.
Yeah, that old school, but I never had a pager though. That was always like an envy point of mine. Like my older cousins had those, but I never heard it go off.
Right. Because you're still young and the same like you're around my age. Okay, let's see. Now, this is what I wanted to say also. It's like the housing rates, you know, like when I bought my house in 2019, right before the COVID hit. And then like when I bought it, I was like, dang, I'm about to save money. But, you know, now it's like, dang, I'm like, ugh. It's like, is it better to just throw my money in the garbage or what? Because it's like, dang, I was like, oh, $1,100 here. And then it started creeping up. Now it's $1,500. I was like, nah, I thought. And then for this little, I mean, my house is cute. It's a small 3-bedroom house. It's like, it's in an okay neighborhood. I live in Fort Worth or whatnot. I ain't rich, but it's like, it's decent, you know? So I live here and I was like, oh, and it's like, oh, well, we're going to raise your insurance rates up because everybody else had everything. They had some injuries going on. So we're going to raise your rates up. How are you going to raise my rates up involving somebody else? Like, I could talk all day about that crap. It's just pissing me off, but I'm sorry. So how do you feel about that? If you like, should I have not even bought a house? Like my dreams like get shot down to the ground.
What's your mortgage rate?
My mortgage rate right now is $1,438. It was supposed to be $1,100. It went from $1,100 to $1,438.
Well, I mean,
all because somebody else's house. Oh, go ahead.
What's your interest rate on the mortgage?
Interest rate is 14%. I think it's like a 14%.
Nah,
that's
like
high.
Okay, so like when did you actually get your mortgage?
I got it in 2019.
Oh, okay.
And then I have like I got it in 2019 right before the COVID hit. And then I was like, so I think my percentage, I gotta go look at my deed again to get the exact percentage. But I think they said it was a fixed rate, but obviously it's not a fixed rate because it fluctuates. Oh, you got this home insurance. My home insurance raises up.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta pay this.
Yeah, you know that's kind of how they get you because they're right when they say that your mortgage is fixed, but you got other things that are not your mortgage in your mortgage payment. You see,
right?
You got to pay taxes as part of your mortgage payment, and then you got to pay your home insurance. That can go up or it can go down for sure. Right. Now, the good thing is that you got
real good.
you got your mortgage in 2019, so you have a low interest rate, so that's a good thing. But you know the insurance might go up a little bit. That might be a problem.
It goes up, and then I was like, so I was with Allstate, and I was like, I don't mean to throw any brands. I'm not trying to throw no digs at like any insurance things, but like I had them for a year, and I was like, dang, and then like when I was about to renew, I was like, oh, I'm going up $200. I'm like, dang, I'm like, Joe Biden already got these. Shoot, I buy Happy Eggs. You know how much a Happy Eggs cost me now? $10. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's like, I might as well like go on the farm and do my own thing. You know what? Shoot. But yeah, that's the thing about that. I don't mean like talk about like too much personal stuff, but it's just like it's ridiculous. And oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like with you know how you were talking a little bit about like old school stuff or whatnot. I like Audrey Hepburn. I know a lot of people don't know that she was the creator of Wi-Fi. Or like she was the one who at least got Wi-Fi started, I guess. But okay, she was a beautiful person, and then everybody looked at her. Oh, you're so pretty. You're not smart. So everybody that's beautiful, they don't, they think, oh, you must be dumb. They automatically assume you're dumb, and then like, you just get that heat, get that smoke, and then she got all these plastic surgeries towards the end of her life, and I just cried. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so sad. But anyway, I don't mean to like take I don't mean to like take advantage of your show and not talking about all these topics, but yeah, that's basically what I was gonna say. Oh, there was one more thing. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I'm sorry.
That's all good. Thank you for your call.
So goofy.
It's all right. You're doing good. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right, now. All right, shout out to the caller. All right, great calls tonight. Let's keep on rocking. Let's go to 201. You know the line. Who am I speaking to? 201. Hello. Going once. All right, 201 got cold feet. And for all the new callers, please be ready to talk because you cannot time it with the screen. It's going to be off. There is a delay. So please have your ear to the phone. 519, who am I speaking to?
Yeah, you're talking to Rudy here, man.
All righty, what's going on?
I'm just wondering, what's your favorite plane? The P-38 Lightning or the Mosquito?
I don't know what those are.
I thought you were into aircraft, brother.
No, not really.
Oh, well, I apologize. And you have a good day, sir.
All right, now. Thank you for the call. All righty. Shout out to the caller. But I'm not, all I know, big jet, small jet, that's it. Let's keep on rocking here. Let's go. All right. Let's go to. All right. 519, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Hello, 519. All right. Come on, 519. Let's tighten up, please. Yeah, let's tighten up. Come on. 419, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
419. This is Jesse Mendez. How are you tonight, ABL?
Oh, well, how about yourself?
Oh, I woke up this morning, so I'm doing good.
There we go.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of a pushback for you on a story that you were talking about a while ago about the football players and parents asking for money, right?
Yes.
I have personal knowledge of a football player that was drafted a while back, and his mom, because I worked with his mom, he was actually drafted one of the highest salaries at that time. His mom made sure he got to practice throughout his career, made sure he made it through college, did everything that it took for him to play the sport he liked. So once he got drafted, he got married right away and forgot all about mom. So there's always two sides to a story. Those parents, I don't know, may have been in the same situation. Some kids can be ungrateful at the wrong time. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a shame. You have to, like, I know her. I work with her every day, and I know the over the years the hardship that she would go through to make sure that he got to his practice in college, make sure he had everything he needed. So that would be my only pushback to you tonight. Other than that, love your show, listen all the time. My wife loves your show. ABL, come on.
Mm-hmm.
So we appreciate your show and your commentary. So that's about it.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Now, I don't think that your children owe you anything okay, you took little Johnny to football practice, baseball practice, or whatever, and did everything to get him into sports. Well, I mean, that's your job as a parent, right? The child did not ask to be here. You brought the child here. It's your responsibility to raise a child and pour into them whatever you can. Now, if for some reason the child doesn't want to give back, then that's on him. And you got to ask yourself, why would the child not want to give back to his mother? Is there a reason? Maybe there's something else going on that we don't know about. But it's not the child's responsibility or the adult now to support the mother or anything like that. It'd be nice if you did, but it's not a responsibility. Now, what you don't want is for your adult child to be a burden on you into your older years. Okay, you don't want to have your adult child be 40-something years old living at the crib talking about, can I get $5? If he's able to be successful, have a family, and raise a family on his own, that's what should happen. You would want for him to kind of go back and support, but if he doesn't, that's on him. There's no, I don't see it as an obligation. You know, furthermore, I think what he was referring to was the mom that sent her son a bill for raising them. It's like, look, you birthed me into the world. I didn't say, hey, look, check it out, mom. Before I'm born, like, can you bring me here? Can we sign a contract? You involuntarily brought me into the world. It's your job to protect, to provide, and to raise until the child gets to be an adult. Once they're adult, they're on their own. They do their own thing. That's it. But shout out to my man for the call. You know, I appreciate different opinions. 972, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. ABL? This is Unified TV, man.
Oh, what's going on, man? What's happening?
Not too much going on. Enjoying the show. Always, I'm finally off on a night that you have a show going. I'm usually working Saturday night, so
okay.
I can catch the whole thing this time. Yes, sir. Loving it as always. No, man, I don't have much to say. Just, God bless. As like I always say, you're my number one inspiration. Keep doing what you do. You're almost at 1 million. I'm sure you already know that, but we got to push for ABL to get to 1 million on YouTube. So everybody in the chat, everybody watching, everybody listening to the podcast, everybody around, let's get ABL to 1 million subscribers on YouTube. It has to happen. We have to make this happen for this man, for this deep detail analysis we all need. One more question. Did you see the video online? I think Oliver Mack posted it, or Right Wing Angel. I'm not sure how people know him, but the 10-year-old, I think he's a 10-year-old rapper, was talking about women and money and running the shit. I don't know if you saw that video, but it bothered me to my core because, you know what I'm saying, I don't know who the parents are, of course, but I bet they're the same type of people that would holler profiling and systemic this and that. But then you got your 10-year-old out there talking about these things and hustling and all this kind of stuff at 10. I'm sure he knows nothing about it, but he's already living this or pretending to live this thug life at 10 years old. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, these profiles and these quote unquote, not profile, you know what I'm saying? They build this image of people like that it comes from somewhere. And this is one of those sources. So there's only but so much complaining you could do when you allow your young black child to go out there and do these things. So there's really nothing for you to complain about, especially if something happens to him. So the parents need to be talked to, like, or slapped or something. But either way it goes, man. Enjoy the show. God bless, man. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I appreciate y'all for all the support. You know, we get some 1 million pretty soon. You know, YouTube is funny with that. They let me grow sometimes they don't. It's all good. I'm just doing my thing. 786 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Fine, thank you. Yeah, I was going to talk about other things, but a lady I had a little while ago, from just a few minutes ago, from Fort Worth, Texas, brought up some things I wanted to talk about. She talked about her mortgage rate going up. I think her payments may be going up, but it doesn't mean her mortgage is going up because she's probably paying escrow, which in an escrow payment, you know, I'm a homeowner. I had to go through that myself. you're paying your mortgage and your property insurance and your property taxes.
Yes.
As long as you had the mortgage together. So, if she has a fixed rate mortgage, her mortgage can't be going up. But probably, her insurance rates are going up and her taxes could be going up because the value of her home may be going up. And thus, that's why she's paying more per month. It's because of the insurance and the property taxes in the escrow.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about there, and I'm glad that she got her mortgage back in 2019 because she probably has a very low interest rate on the mortgage.
Yeah.
Because I got mine in 2020 and I got a 2.75. So I'm glad she didn't get her rate now. You're talking about 7% plus. You're going to have fluctuating costs that's going to be in the escrow aside from the actual fixed rate mortgage.
Yeah, because where I live, I live in South Florida. I have a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse. I bought it in 1995. And the thing about it is the insurance rates then were, the interest rates, not insurance rates, I'm sorry, interest rates then were about, between 8 and 9%. But the value of my townhouse at the time, the purchase price was $90,000. And I admit I applied a little bit of money I got from my late father after he passed away. So I was able to put a nice down payment on it. So that lowered the mortgage as well. And so, and then later on, 2001, I refinanced with a mortgage rate of about 6.9%. But I refinanced. I bought the house in 95 and then refinanced in 2001 with a 15-year mortgage. So that would save me some long run. And I have paid it off since then. So I've been living mortgage free now since 2011.
Wow.
And but I know one thing here in Florida, especially South Florida, insurance rates went way up because, one, a lot of people want to move to the state, and that's raised the price of homes. And second, inflation due to Bidenomics. That's the tie to it. That's another part. Third is last year, Southwest Florida got slammed by Hurricane Ian. And a lot of the really small insurance companies, some of them went belly up. And Florida basically, for lack of better words, but to give you some idea, its insurance is a lot like FDIC, Florida, the way it deals with insurance. Well, not FDIC, the Federal Savings and Loans, FSLIC,
okay,
with banks. Yeah, if you know how FSLIC works with banks, the smaller banks that are failing to sell can be forced to be sold to larger banks. Kind of works that way in Florida with insurance companies. And, because they had to do that in our insurance rates, that was another contributor to our insurance rates going up here. My insurance rates now are almost $4,900 a year. Yeah, and I've got one of the cheapest rates. I worked with an agent and all said, it looks like this is going to be the best rate. You go elsewhere, you're probably going to be expecting to spend $6,000 or $7,000 a year on insurance.
Wow.
And of course, thankfully, one thing that helps me is I don't have a mortgage, so that does make things a little more comfortable. There's no way they're going to get stuck with a house. And of course, too, the property taxes are going up because the values of the homes are going up.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, too, that lady, I think, was it her that brought up the electric cars running out of charge?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if she's seen the meme. Maybe you have. It's a photograph someone took. I think it's in California. It was a Tesla, and mounted on the back of it, I think it was a Tesla. Mounted on the back of it was an electric generator.
I saw that. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that could give her some ideas of what she could do if she's forced to buy an electric car.
Exactly.
But I do agree with a statement you made months ago about electric cars. I think the government is not forcing us so much in electric cars. I think a lot of politicians want to force us all into mass transit.
Correct. Absolutely.
I really do. Because, the government controls mass transit and all. They can use it like social credit. If we like you, you get to ride. Well, if you don't, well, good luck trying to get to work, to job, to support your family, to get to school, wherever.
They are doing it when it comes to get on the plane, because you can be put on the blacklist and you can't fly. So it's already here for air travel. They take that same system and then apply it to the mass transit. It'll be the same TSA, everything else that you would have on your plane. It'll be at the mass transit, same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and of course, and two other things real quick. Someone was talking about you showed a clip of Alex Jones with Blair White.
Yeah.
And there's talk about, because of his comments of Alex Jones being gay, or a suspicion that there's rumors floating around that he's gay.
Well, I don't know about all that. I mean, I think my thing was, I think I was asking people, what do you think about it? But I don't know. I wouldn't go out there and say he was gay. I don't know about that part. I mean, anything's possible, but I really don't know about all of that. All of that.
Yeah, no. What I thought maybe is you were saying the rumors out there that he's gay by someone else, but yeah. But if it was, I wonder if some people think he's been drinking the same water that the frogs have been drinking. The famous line, the frog.
Right.
Yeah, the frogs. Yeah. And one last point, it's about the classical music used to keep away unwanted characters from stores.
Yes.
Wherever that is. Yeah. I was thinking of maybe they should play Slim Whitman's yodeling music, because it worked against the aliens of Mars attack. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, that's a good choice right there for sure.
Okay. Well, I know you got 10,001 callers lined up, so I'll let you go.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And I was able to find that picture he was referring to. I've shown that before. This picture right here of the Tesla with the gas-powered generator on the back. Hey, whenever you can't start your electric car, whenever you can't find infrastructure to get your electric car charged, go ahead and charge it up with gas, a gas-powered generator. Totally crazy. But hey, it is what it is. Let me keep on rocking and rolling here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. All right, Victor, what's going on?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
Hey, have you heard that song, the Richmond, North of Richmond?
Yeah, I played that earlier in the stream.
Oh, what do you think about it?
I think it's a good message. I think, I had been watching, I had been seeing like the video kind of circulating, but I never watched it until just right now on the stream. And I didn't know what the title was. It's like North of Richmond. What are you talking about? But then I understand it's like, okay, you're talking about the inflation and everything. You're talking about Washington, D.C. I get it 100%.
Yeah, and just living in Virginia, you could just feel it.
Yeah.
Even before the inflation. I mentioned this, I think it was back in 2018, before I moved to Virginia, how Northern Virginia carries such much voting power in Virginia, and how it affects Southern Virginia. How the year before I moved to Virginia, St. Petersburg and Bristol, Virginia, not Bristol, Tennessee, but Bristol, Virginia, went into bankruptcy. Part of that is because the way that Northern Virginia votes.
Yeah, exactly. And no, the crazy part is that, speaking about Bristol is like Kansas City. You have Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri, but it's really one city. Same thing with Bristol. You get Bristol, Virginia, and Bristol, Tennessee, but it's one place, technically divided by a state line. Now, Bristol, Tennessee was perfectly fine. No bankruptcy, no financial problems, but the Virginia half of the same city went bankrupt, like you said, because of the Northern Virginia policies. And to add on to that right quick, people online always argue about Northern Virginia. They say, oh, without us, y'all won't have no roads and nothing like that. People don't understand. Northern Virginia being that populous is kind of recent. When I was a kid, it wasn't like that. The sprawl into Northern Virginia happened in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Before that, we've been here. We've been here since the beginning. We were like the main place. We were in the original 13 colonies. We always have been here. We didn't need Northern Virginia to have all this D.C. sprawl from all the government printing and spending. We didn't need all that to maintain ourselves as a state. So, yeah. I wish that Northern Virginia would be its own place. Like, when she go past Fredericksburg and on over to, like, Loudoun and all of that, make all of that its own state, and I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and recently, how they almost passed a stricter gun law, and how Richmond became a battleground between northern and southern Virginia. Matter of fact, it gotten so bad now that in people in Arlington, Virginia, are now complaining because how it got so expensive that they feel that they are being kicked out of Arlington.
Wow,
Because,
really?
yeah, I mean it's becoming bad. I mean, I could barely see any black people in Northern Virginia.
Oh,
It
nah.
seems that
They're going to Maryland. They're going PG Maryland or elsewhere or back down southern.
yeah, because it is so expensive, so gentrified, so gentrified too. I'm thinking that the black area was in Southern Virginia because no, not Southern Arlington, because of a famous African American Methodist church that's there. But you can't tell. Even with the whole Commanders thing, the Redskins changing, it seemed like it was more driven by the Northern Virginians than the Maryland people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. The last one I want to talk about is Vivek Ramaswamy that called Juneteenth useless. I, in context of what he explained and how Juneteenth became a federal holiday, I understand that. However, I think that using the word useless is too strong of a word. Maybe saying it's not necessary to be recognized on a federal level, which I get that because Juneteenth is more of a Texas holiday anyway. But I wouldn't even use that word useless because you're saying that Juneteenth doesn't have any meaning, which it does. What I also want to say is when the interviewer asked Vivek Ramaswamy, well, what do you think about Veterans Day and Memorial Day? And he said that, well, I consider them okay because of tradition. That is the weakest reason why you want to pick. You say that Veterans Day and Memorial Day is okay, but Juneteenth is useless because of tradition. There's some traditions that can change, and there's some traditions that won't change. And you gotta explain what's so special about that tradition that doesn't change. I also want to say is that when he said that the spirit of Juneteenth is celebrated on Martin Luther King's Day, but you could just say the same thing that the spirit of Memorial Day is celebrated through Veterans Day.
Right.
His reasoning is so weak.
Because he has no he just says anything to a crowd because it wasn't even no point even talking about that holiday at that moment. He was talking about elections. He's talking about trying to figure out a way to strengthen the elections. So he's like, okay, let's have a voting holiday. Then he said, okay, let's cancel some useless day like Juneteenth. It's like, why would you even mention Juneteenth? There was no purpose, but he thought that the crowd he was talking to, a bunch of these gray hair boomers, would appreciate it, and to a certain extent they did. But that's the reason why he said it, not because it's any other logic behind it. So then when he gets pressed on, he's just making up stuff because that's just what he was doing. And then my thing is, if he felt that way, he should have said that when he gave that Happy Juneteenth post on Juneteenth. Again, he'll say whatever that people want to hear to try and get elected. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I think for now on, he should be a little careful be careful what words he needs to use because if the route he's going, he may just lose steam.
But truthfully, he's already done though because he's going to be the next Andrew Yang. Where is he at? He had a lot of steam at one point. Yang gang, all of that. He's the same thing. He has no chance because truthfully, the front runner is Trump, obviously, and behind him is not Mitt Romney. I'm tripping. Ron DeSantis. This guy has no chance at all to do anything. Not even the vice president.
I'll hold on to that until I see him in the debate. I'll see how it is on the debate. Anyway, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, then. Bye.
Yeah, you remember Andrew Yang Gang? Remember that? He had a lot of steam and vanished. Where's he at? Where's he at right now? All that steam he had, totally gone. The truth is, races between Trump and DeSantis as it always has been. Now, DeSantis has lost steam, so really, the clear and far and away front runner is Donald Trump. That's really it. All right, let's keep on going. And also, Vivek is 5'7". Come on, like I'm not a heightist, if that's a word. I'm not that kind of person that judges you based on height. I'm not that kind of person, so don't get misunderstood. But most presidents are going to be 6 foot tall and above. The last president to not be 6 foot tall was Jimmy Carter. He was 5'10". For real, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure that he was actually that height. Jimmy Carter height. He was either 5'9" or 5'10". 5'10". Yeah, people, they want a guy who's going to be at least 6 foot tall. Trump 6'3". Biden is like 6'2". Even though Biden is decrepit and old as dirt, he's still relatively tall and slim. Again, he looks like the Crypt Keeper. He got pretty much 2 feet, 6 feet. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to say anything threatening, YouTube. Anyway, I digress. Americans love tall, stately-looking guys. They don't want women, and they don't want somebody that's short as a president. That's just the reality of the situation. Don't attack me for saying it. I'm just speaking the reality. It is what it is. All right. The height thing is even more important than race. But I digress. 760, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, Anthony, it's Bill. I called right after the election, and I said the only reason they picked Biden is because he was most believable being in quotes. With the way things are going and Trump's popularity and Biden's polls going down, who are they going to use this time? If they do the election like they did last time, it's got to be somebody that's believable. And they don't seem to be gravitating towards Kennedy. And, I'm just wondering who they're going to... Newsom, he had a recall, and I keep hearing rumors they're going to put him out there. But to me, they got to pick someone that is going to be believable. That this round maybe 90 million votes.
So is your question, who would they pick that's more believable or as believable as Joe Biden?
Yeah, as believable as Joe Biden.
Well, I mean, I'm not quite sure that's the reason why. I think the reason why he got nominated is because of the proximity to Barack Obama. People knew him from that because remember, before going to South Carolina, he was not doing very well. I think at one point they had Pete Buttigieg. He was the front runner when they went to Iowa. I think he won Iowa. And then Biden was not really doing that well. And then when they got to South Carolina, they kind of resurrected him because you got a 33% black vote that voted Democrat. And that lifted him because of the Barack Obama proximity. People still love Obama, and they know Joe from that. I think that's why he got nominated. Now, as far as somebody being believable, it doesn't really make a difference. Whoever the Democrats rally behind, they're going to rally behind. It won't be any infight, and they'll say, okay, this is going to be our guy. We'll give him all the money, and we'll put him out in front. Gavin Newsom has everything you need. He's tall. Some of the people that are his age are going to say he's handsome. They'll go out there, vote for him. Females are going to vote for him. Some of the LGBT men are going to vote for him. Governor of California has a liberal vote all day. So that's their best bet, to be totally frank.
Yeah, okay. I can go with that. I could go with that. But if it's going to take, say, 90 million this go around, you think people are going to believe that he got 90 million or 90 million plus?
It doesn't even really matter if people believe it. All that matters is that it happens. And I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure that he'll be able to beat Trump. I'm not quite sure that him or Biden will be able to beat Trump. Definitely not Biden. If Biden has to campaign, remember last time during COVID, he had the excuse of, that virus going on to not campaign, to basically be in his basement and doing Zoom calls, but you can't do that now. So that's going to be an issue coming up. I don't think either one of them beats Trump, but I think Gavin Newsom would be the best bet, if not Joe Biden, as a competitor against Trump.
Well, it's definitely going to be interesting. I'll let you go. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom, I mean, I've been said that he could do it. Yeah, Gavin Newsom, you know, he got the height. He going to say he's handsome, all of that. It's like Justin Trudeau. Same thing, Justin Trudeau. The reason why Trudeau is the prime minister, candidate, or president, whatever it is. The reason why he's a Canadian leader is because of how he looks. And that's it. And the fact that he has the right political affiliation. And, you know, as SJW, liberal, that's all you need. Humans are not as complicated as we may think. You know, we're prehistoric creatures with space age technology. How you going to deal with it? 504, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. Very good topics. And I think that, but yeah, with Alex Jones, I think the biggest problem with what he was saying, in my opinion, was people may feel that he was trying to be like pro-trans or like make the movement or what she was doing a correct thing when our side usually doesn't agree with it.
Yeah, I mean,
so yeah.
Go ahead.
No, like I want to know your thoughts.
I don't know. I've not really heard Alex Jones say anything about that necessarily, except for the whole trying to make the frogs gay. I'm not really sure what his stance is on that.
Right.
But yeah, I don't really see him as necessarily a politician type person, like a presidential candidate. I just see him more as a radio host. He'll pretty much just say kind of anything that's on his mind.
Right. Yeah, I do wonder what the motivation is, but yeah, I don't agree personally with what he said, but I know you talked about, the frogs being gay. I remember that one. And yeah, because our side, we don't like that stuff, what's going on. And I also think that it's good for our side to keep on explaining what's going on so the left stuff can be debunked. Like today over in Denver, there is a Christian parade. It wasn't a protest, but it was like a Christian march.
Okay. Sounds good.
And I think I think that's good. It was a peaceful thing. Obviously, they weren't destroying anything. And also, I do think with the current administration, what they're doing is helping the inflation increase. Like with rental property owners, the insurance gets very high, and their bills get really high, and then they increase the rent on the tenants to the point, hypothetically, where it wouldn't be good because it would get so expensive. And also with the groceries and stuff, and it's just hurting the people, and their policies, I don't feel help the people they're saying they're going to help.
Yeah, they don't. They really don't.
Right. It just causes more division, and like the lady you were showing earlier. And I think that basically the people, like the politicians, that they're obviously lying and they're causing all these problems. And I think it would be terrible if Gavin Newsom became president, because from what I've seen from California, there's like homeless people everywhere. Like there was a caller that was telling you that Tennessee or something was bad. That area is great. But over in California, there's rows and rows of homeless like tents and people doing drugs in the street. And I do think there's strong left, like communistic sympathies over there, and that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, I saw some of those videos of the rows and rows of just people that are homeless, like living in RVs and whatnot, just on the side of the road. It's really crazy. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen that kind of thing over here on the East.
Right. And I remember when I went to Kentucky and Georgia when I was a teenager, very nice, very, very nice area. And people are really cool. And it's not like that in the other regions. And I think, now, have you heard about the leprosy outbreak in Florida?
I think I might have heard about a case. I'm not quite sure if it was an outbreak, but I didn't look into it too deeply.
Okay, I did, and I talked about it on my channel. So basically, because I looked into it. So basically in Florida and Georgia and Louisiana, there's something going on where there's a widespread outbreak of leprosy, and they think that it's coming from the armadillos. But my friend Peach was telling me that she hasn't seen cases of armadillos because she used to see them. They didn't transmit it to people, but I read they can carry it, but it's very unlikely for them to transmit it into people. And me and my companions think that it's likely something from the border, that people that were coming in from the border and they spread it. And another thing I want to point out is that maybe during the election, they might try to push the leprosy thing as a reason to not vote in person. What do you think?
Oh, wow. That'd be something. They could do something like that. They could try to say that that's the reason why you can't vote in person. But I don't know. But as far as the border being open, I think there's all kind of stuff coming in across the border that they're not really talking about, because you have no idea who these people are, where they're coming from, what kind of background they have. So they could bring any kind of random disease into the country and cause a serious problem.
Right. And also with the leprosy thing, people to not be afraid, to stay healthy, take vitamin C, and that we now in our modern times, we have stuff to treat it if someone gets it. But just so the news in the future and in this hypothetical situation says to be afraid of it, there's nothing to be afraid of, because as terrible as the left and the BLM people say our country is, we have advanced medical technology to treat these kind of things in third world countries they can't treat.
That's right.
Right. And I'll say about Obama, I think he's completely like a charlatan. Like he keeps on, like he'll say something to this crowd, like he'll see against the gay stuff, and then he says he has gay thoughts. That's crazy. And then I remember he may have had sympathies towards Islam. I don't know if I'm wrong on that, but he had sympathies towards that, or right wing type. That's a right wing thing, the Islam. But so basically, he goes back and forth, and then he supports BLM, and he supports the George Floyd stuff. And I think that people like him are like politicians, like you were saying, that he's just trying to appeal to a certain audience of people for the political movements. What do you think?
It sounds about right.
Right. And now, so
I have limited time.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you, ABL, for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Goodbye.
All right, great call. Shout out, man, for the call. I really, really appreciate him, but we're running low on time here. So let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. 912, you don't lie, who am I speaking to?
What's going on, ABL? It's your favorite content creator and conservative, Joel Davis Media Network. What's up, brother?
Everything's good, man. What's going on?
Hey, man. Here, man. Surviving another day. Wanted to talk about some topics you hit on tonight. First, about Fani Willis and the Big Nut gang member. There's been talk around the campfire in Georgia, all the way down to South Georgia. That's been going on for about a year and a half. But I never reported on it because I couldn't get any, concrete evidence on it. But, when you're dealing with somebody like Trump who's worth $2.3 billion, they're going to find out the answer one way or the other, what's really going on. And that's exactly why I think she kept pushing back Young Thug's case, because of that situation. See, the Young Thug, the guy that he was beefing with, YSL Lucci, which I can't tell you what YSL means because, it is a PG broadcast.
Right.
He and Big Nut was his mentor. That was like his homie. He grew up with that dude. And Big Nut is kind of like our age. I think he may be a little bit older than me and you. But either way it goes, when he got killed, that's when all of a sudden he just rose to the ranks to take over the case. But then everybody had said in the campfire she only took the case because she was dealing with him on the low while being married.
Hold on. She was married at the time? I didn't know that part.
Yeah, she was married. She been married to that dude for a minute. Yeah. You look, research it up, yeah. That's why she's trying to keep it under wraps. That's why she kept pushing that trial back. Yeah, Yeah, research the ABL. You'd be surprised. ABL, Atlanta talks, bro. People don't understand that. The money right, Atlanta will talk.
That's right.
Another thing I wanted to talk to you about Lizzo. Remember me and you talked about this last week that there was going to be more people coming out about Lizzo.
Yep.
And that she was going to soon start losing money. Well, I was not surprised about the Super Bowl thing because, you know, she had some kind of production concert that was supposed to be going sometime later on in the month. They stopped that. They said it was a production issue. But we already know what it was because she's under that investigation for what those girls did. Said she did, allegedly. I'm like this, ABL. I know you said, you know, take the high road and, you know, wait to prove, you know, till somebody is proven as innocent until proven guilty. But when it comes to people like Lizzo and the brand that she built herself on and the lies that she helped promote, this is her karma. And to me, I really think she did it. I ain't gonna sit here and lie because you and I both know that with this radical left behavior, they are very two-faced. They'll tell us one thing, but they'll do the opposite of what they're preaching. And I think that this may be a career killer for Lizzo because sooner or later, you know how alphabet soup gonna do. They're gonna jump off this.
That's right.
I mean, that's just how they usually do it. You see it, and I've seen it time and time again. As soon as one of their own that they thought was a spokesperson, they can't save them no more, they toss them to the wolves. And speaking of Wayne Brady, which is funny when you said that, I'm glad you brought that up. I always knew that. I always felt like Wayne Brady was Destiny. I'm sorry, bro, but the way he carried himself over the years, I always felt like Wayne Brady was Destiny. And him talking about, you know, he's pansexual, which is crazy. You know, I hate when these guys and women do that. Just say that you're bisexual and call it a day. That's all you got to say.
That's it.
You know? You know, hey, I'm bisexual. I'm into what I'm into. I've been carrying this for a long time. I feel, you know, liberated. And that's that. I think if they would do that, we would not have all of this confusion that continues to keep going around in our everyday on social media, you know. And the mother that was talking about what was going on with the economy, I'm seeing it firsthand myself. My kids, my son, I have a son that is, my oldest son is 23, and my 18-year-old right now, both of them, you know, trying to get out on their own, especially my 23-year-old. And it's hard out here, man, because just like you said, a studio apartment in, you know, your area is $1,500. I mean, look how much a studio apartment is in California right now, San Diego. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think in San Francisco, looking at a studio apartment was $4,000. I was like, who paid $4,000 for a studio apartment? And it was small. Like, dude, it was sad. I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. And because of this, I mean, it's not like it was when me and you were growing up. Like you were saying, it's a good point. When me and you were growing up, we was amazed with having a beeper and a car phone. You know what I'm saying? We was from the era when we saw a bad phone and we saw, you know, our family have a car phone, we thought they hit the jackpot, you know? And now we at the point of our lives now where we got kids that look at that and it's like, what is that? And look at their cell phone and don't even look at it as some kind of amazing device. They look at it as an everyday device like having water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or shelter or whatever. So you got some good points on that. And my first beeper was, you know, the mall beeper they had with the Bugs Bunny airbrush and all that.
Yeah, one of those. Okay.
Yeah, that was my first beeper, dude. And I used to have mine on vibrate all the time. You couldn't tell me anything. You know what I'm saying? And my first cell phone was a big giant cell phone with the green screen. You could only make 100 calls a month on it. So anytime you went over those 100 calls, you had to pay like a set fee. And I was lucky to have that because my mom had a good job at the time of my dad. So, you know, I didn't have to worry about those things, trying to keep up with it. So we came from an era where now when we see cell phones, I'm like, you too. I'm like, what? This is crazy. Who would have ever thought? But before I leave out, I just wanted to tell you once again, man, you're going to hit that million sooner or later. I don't care how much YouTube try to play with the numbers. They can't stop destiny because you're doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? And I also wanted to tell the audience thank you for following me as well with your shout out and stuff. And we'll be doing a stream tonight right after you're done. Probably be about 12. And they also follow me on my backup channel too, the official Patriot News Live as well, along with Joel Davis Media Network. And keep doing what you're doing, ABL, man.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, appreciate you too, man, and keep killing it with those stories, man, because every time you talk about how you know, growing up was back in the 90s and the early 2000s, you got me nostalgic over here, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, bro. Bye.
All right. So shout out to Joel Davis Media Network. Y'all go ahead and follow him. 773, you know, line who I'm speaking to.
Thanks for squeezing my call in, ABL. I know it's past your bedtime. It's your retired Chicago police officer friend. ABL, I wanted to talk about unions in America and the history of the labor unions in America. You know, the unions, the whole idea behind the union is, you know, a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. That's the whole idea behind it. You know, companies want to keep, you know, their cost at a bare minimum. They don't want to have to pay out money. But that, you know, in its most simplest form, that's what caused slavery. That's what the whole idea behind slavery was a bunch of people didn't want to pay for the labor it costs to work their farms and their fields. And that was the whole idea behind it. Let me enslave somebody so I don't have to pay money to, you know, to get this cotton and all this other stuff done. That's the whole idea behind it. And of course, slavery was wrong. And we, you know, by the way, it was also a Democratic idea, not a Republican idea. But anyway, slavery was wrong. And then we went to a society from agricultural to an industrial society. But still, it's human nature that they didn't want to pay what it costs for labor. So that's why, and it's depicted many times in movies, that movie Far and Away. There's other movies that depict the turn of the century, 1900, where, you know, you work 12, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. The only reason we had Sunday off was because the companies didn't want to mess with the churches. But they wanted to get as much work out of you for as cheap as possible. No breaks, none of this, none of that. They wanted to get every ounce of work out of you for the minimum amount of money possible. That's what happens in Bangladesh and other places. Nike goes to those places because they want to get their labor cheap and free. So the unions started together, and it's the topic of the book Grapes of Wrath, which is, you know, that people wandered around after the Dust Bowl to find work. And, you know, they had more than enough people that were looking for work. So let's give them a nickel, or say we're going to give them a quarter and only give them a dime, that kind of thing. So people formed unions to say, hey, we need to get a fair wage for the fair work that we're doing. And that's what unions were for. And we, you know, you can make money as a company, but we need to get some of the profit our way so we can live and, you know, buy things and other people can work. And things were working when we did that. But then what happened was, you know, they used that right to work law. You know, that's a euphemism. That's a soft word, right to work. Yeah, everybody wants to have a right to work. What that word really means is companies have a right not to pay the union wages. Hey, we don't want to pay, $37 an hour. We rather pay $12 an hour. And there's people that will take $12 an hour if you would just get it out of our way. But they can't say that, so they use the terminology right to work. Unions are important. They're important here in America because, you want to have a fair wage. You want to have a fair wage. Yeah, things change, and that's why inflation is bad. When inflation goes up, the unions have to ask for more money because things cost more. Even the companies they're working for try to get more money, and everybody has to up their ante of what they need to get to survive. That's why inflation is important, and all this stuff is important. Anyway, ABL, I don't want to take up all your time. I know it's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right. That will be a wrap for me. The time went by so fast. It's crazy. But I have to wrap it on up, put the bowl clean on top. Thank y'all for joining. If you cannot get in tonight, I'm sorry, but don't blame me. Blame the white man. It's not my fault. But I'll be back live again. Same bat time, same bat place on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern. And this will be available on your favorite audio streaming platform. I got it recorded right here, so it's going to be up this time for sure. Spotify, Stitcher, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And thank you to everybody that's being here, all the mods for keeping the trolls in check, everybody that's watching, chatting, retweeting, whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you, so I thank you all for being here. All righty. Now, we got a few super chats. I'm going to read, then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Thank you to Randy Byers, who says, here's a gallon of gas after taxes. And it was $19.99. He's like, it's a gallon of gas after taxes. Thank you for that, man. I need that because the gas right now is crazy. A gallon of gas is like your firstborn child right now. Thank you to F Ranger Xbox, who says, I don't want rollback prices. I want Trump's back prices. Thank you to Triage 716, who says, I never call, but I love you all. Enjoying spicy Church's chicken and gravy night with the best on the web. Keep going strong, my brother, with the chicken leg emoji and the what's this right here? What y'all call that? And hashtag Little Chicken. And thank you to Tester Tips, who says 24-hour stream on 1 million subs. There's no way. Like on 3 hours, I'm struggling. Like right now, I'm real thirsty. I'm about to drink a whole bunch of these. Well, probably the rest of this, and then I'll be good. But 24 hours, no way. I may do a special stream or something like that, but 24 hours, that's wilding out. But I think that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.